So, yeah, I guess let's recap. So, you guys had, after a run-in with the Bomu clan for a little revenge on their part, took care of them, headed off Endragod with Mika, ran into the CSA, got out of that, and then eventually rendezvoused with Popara, reunited him with his son Mika. Very excited, obviously, and Popra was very delighted and appreciative of that. Gave you guys your starship, handed that over as part of the deal, which you poetically named Gabera's Freedom, R.I.P. And also a few additional rewards and perks that Popper handed out. And then, yeah, so you guys just headed back to Nar Shaddaa to kind of set up shop for the next few weeks until something else maybe fell in your lap or whatnot. So I know that Dab spent a lot of his time working on his biochem kit and going out on the town for his own vices and whatnot. R2 hung around the starship for the most part, upgraded HK a little bit, just maintained the ship as needed. Remy kind of keeping to himself the ship, just continuing his Will's monk meditations. Rix, with accompaniment of HK, had went to see the Bounty Hunters Guild to get some further info, to kind of join the guild and get some information on some of the bounties that you had gotten off the 2 Trandoshans from the Lost Lady ship that brought you guys over here earlier. So after a little bit of an interesting introduction to the guild, you were able to get on board and were able to basically take over those bounties for your own Ricks. So you have those to hunt out. And then Cade, remind me again what you were doing for the couple weeks.
Artificer's tools training.
That's right. Yep. So you did that a little bit, and
which I able to actually find and purchase some Artificer's tools. Oh no, I actually have some.
Yeah, do you have some? Okay.
Yeah, I got them from being a Jedi, I guess.
All right. So yeah, you're good to go there. So yeah, Cade working on his Artificer tools, training in that, so he can hopefully in the soon future modify his equipment, lightsaber equipment and whatnot. So also during that time, Cade did Cade got a message from somebody, and then a few days later a delivery showed up for him.
Right, and inside for myself is a bioenhancement matrix Mark 1. I believe someone wanted a chipped inlay conductor.
That was Dab, but Todd, I'll hold off on that until after the game to talk to you about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Cade.
Yeah, you're welcome. An Accutronic Supreme Mark II. Who was that?
I think R2 probably.
R2, yeah.
Because I think those were the only 3. And then...
Yeah, those were the 3 that I got.
Okay. So I know, yeah, Remy is looking at maybe a amplifying barrel for the light bow, something else. So yeah, we can look through those as well. Some more, Remy, if you want. And then Rix, did you have something in mind?
I was thinking about the accuracy focus Mark II.
Okay.
Which gives me a +1 to attack rolls.
Okay. All right. So regardless of the specifics, you guys have them. So if they, I guess kind of look at them a little bit, but they can definitely be applied. But as far as the story goes, yeah. So that came. Cade, I don't know if you have anything else you want to mention about that to the group.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for finding that navigational data for the Republic, they sent me a box of junk. Some of it's useful. So y'all are welcome to help yourselves to what might be useful for you.
Thanks again, kid. I very much appreciate it.
Are there like old DVD copies in there of like 1970s movies?
Yeah, it's Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, nice.
It's from the
Full
future.
circle.
So, after distributing these goods, middle of the 1 week, and then you guys continue on just doing your things as you were, carry out these 2 weeks. Sometime towards the middle of the second week or so, we'll say, there's a message that comes in on the starship, and R2 is there to grab that, and it is the holovid appears the 3PO, not 3PO, but the 3PO unit, H3PO, HEP, droid that you know, one of the protocol droids of Popara, and he talking to R2 lets him know that there is a message from Popara, sends that through, and basically Popara has a request that you all go and pick up an antique lightsaber, as he puts it, a gift for his son Mika. This is he has procured this through someone on Tatooine. The transaction is taken care of. You basically just need to go and pick that up. And he has sent all any other pertinent information that you might need to go through with that transaction. And yeah, I think that pretty much brings us into right now. So say probably everyone is back at the ship. I'd assume that you guys all probably make that your living quarters, as it would definitely host you quite well while on Nar Shaddaa in between work. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, do we want to just go and get this lightsaber here?
Sounds great, buddy. Let's go. My home planet of Tatooine.
Are there more like you on Tatooine, Dab?
Like me?
Whoa.
Yes. Oh, you mean amazing? Of course there are.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Who's our
Nothing.
pilot?
Good question.
Remi's
Come on,
the pilot,
Remy.
right?
Let's go, Remy.
Yeah.
Remy is, yes.
Have we seen my rolls today?
Yeah.
All right. So anything else you guys want to ship off to Tatooine?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Let's do it.
All right. So luckily, Popara has provided some fresh astrogation data, things like that. So who's the operator?
I think that's me.
Yeah, I think that's Dab.
Okay.
I'm operator. I think you were the coordinator.
Coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Coordinator.
So
Event coordinator.
yeah. So Rick's. It doesn't take much for you to kind of get that information up and running, calculated into the system. Couple quick jumps to get to the Trielis trade route, where that'll be your main hyperspace route into Tatooine. But yeah, Remy, go ahead and let's shake it out. Let's get a piloting check here.
D4 inspiring display. Because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, go ahead, roll the D4.
Oh God.
All right, so sitting around for a couple weeks, Remy might feel a little rusty behind the sticks, but not too bad. It's a pretty standard takeoff. Get you guys out of the landing bay there on Nar Shaddaa and begin your way some normal space travel, a couple short jumps, and then you finally get your way to that main trade route lane over to Tatooine. So along the way, what hyperdrive class do you guys have on your ship? Is it
It says. What
Looking.
does it say?
1.5? Is that a thing?
It could be.
It is, yeah. Hyperdrive class 1.5.
Yeah.
All right. So
Could be worse. Could be better.
yeah, and it's got the 15's the backup. That's right. So
Please do not break the hyperdrive because 15 is so slow.
that would you might as
What
well.
are we
yeah, it's
driving here?
just-
Like a Nissan Murano? Like, what is this thing?
I think it's actually a Dodge Astro, just judging by the size of it.
Very nice.
All right. So it takes you. I think it was.
I was going to ask, in your chart, Hutt space isn't in there, so are we counting Nar Shaddaa as outer rim?
Yeah. So it'd be 48, and then it'd be 72. So like they look physically close together if you look at the galaxy map, but I think if you get into the weeds with hyperspace travel, but yeah. So we'll say it's about a 2-day trip total for you guys to get from where you need to go. So, but over that 2 days, you can go over the information that Popara has presented you. So you know that you will need to go to Mos Espa, which I am going to use, screw timeline, and I believe it said that it established around like 70 or 80 BBY, and then I think Mos Eisley is 10, 15 younger or older, and I know it's not a technologically advanced city, but to only be like 80 years old does not seem right. Does anybody else agree?
That seems.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That
Super
seems
young,
like
yeah.
Mos
really.
Eisley, like in New Hope's 80 years old?
Supposedly.
It looks like
That is
such a.
screwed up.
Yeah, it looks so old. I just can't imagine.
And I mean,
that
it's
that's
just,
actually
I
the
think
case.
it's the environment and whatnot, but regardless, anyway, so,
Although, based on, Old Republic technology 2,000 years later, hasn't really advanced too much.
right.
Things
Yeah,
are a
no
little
joke.
weird.
Just a simple disclaimer out there for anybody that wants to come on and be like, that's not canon! So,
Disney's going to sue you now.
there
Great.
you go.
That's not what we're worried about.
Yeah,
not
right.
for this.
So, Mos Espa is your target destination, and you need to head there and connect with a arms dealer named Zuti, Z-U-U-T-I. He is a Sugi, if I'm pronouncing that right, S-U-G-I is the species. The shorter bipedal, kind of green skin. They often are seen with power suits, and many times they have four-legged power suits, so they almost give this insectoid-like appearance. So some people assume that maybe that's, maybe within the power suit they might have that, additional look, but outside they're just a simple kind of shorter bipedal species. But known for their arms dealing, especially in some exotic items and things. So you need to seek them out and find them once you get to Mos Espa. There's not many other specifics of where to find him. You just need to find him. And yeah, in addition to that, Popper just says, just watch your guard and keep an eye out for Gardula the Hutt. She is pretty prominent over Mos Espa. She does have her palace there, and she's kind of has current rule as much as she can over Mos Espa right now. After she was I don't know when she was born, but shortly, after she came to maturity and whatnot, her family sent her to Tatooine, and she went there to try and show them she was made of something by taking over what she could on Tatooine, and she did it. It backfired because it did kind of a too good of a job, and her family felt that she would just stay on Tatooine to continue her reign. So unfortunately, she's kind of stuck there, but that certainly has its perks. Dab, give me a lore check. All right.
Aw.
Oh yeah.
Haven't been here in a while, have you, Deb?
I'm gonna burn a lucky and re-roll that.
Okay.
I mean, it just really feels wrong that Dad can't get this about his own home planet, right?
Give me a straight another roll. Okay. Wow, that didn't matter.
Well,
I mean, it's fine. So, you would know. Maybe your time in the gladiator ring has hidden some memories, has forcibly removed some memories of your time at Tatooine. But you do know that there is another Hutt, prominent Hutt on Tatooine as well, who does have a house on Mos Espa, but has also taken up residence outside of the city as well, and that would be namely Jabba the Hutt. So Jabba has been around as well, so he is another Hutt to kind of keep an eye out there on Tatooine. So beyond that, so anything during your couple days of travel?
Guys, this is going to be great. You're going to see my home planet. I'm a pretty big deal there. You're going to see the people love me there for all my gladiator accolades.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, Deb. I can't wait, Deb. It's gonna
You're
be great.
eating buttered
gonna be
popcorn
great,
listening
yeah.
to all my stories.
I believe it.
I just remember we didn't sell any of those weapons, did we, before we left? Maybe we can sell them here.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we can sell them on Tatooine. Let's go visit my cousin Watto. He's great.
Watto is not around.
How long do Toydarians live?
Yeah, that was going to be my
Not that
question.
long.
I don't,
5,000 years.
Oh God.
just watch
When you
out
realize
for
that-
that little kid Anakin. He's also 5,000 years old.
Little Manny?
So, you guys,
Jesus fuck.
listening to Dab's stories, the few days it takes you to get to Tatooine, you all have a quite embellished version of what you expect to see. But you come and settle into Mos Espa, one of its many docking bays around the city. And as you can see there on the map, so the number 4 is Jabba's city house that he has there. 5 is Gardula's palace. And then the heaviest line that snakes through the center of the map there is like Mos Espa Way, the main thoroughfare that you can see. Yes, it does say Watto's Junk Shop, but
Just stays right there.
Told you.
doesn't exist.
it was a different Watto, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's named
It's his
after
dad.
It's Otto.
Watto the First.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
All right, so you settle into a docking bay there, and yeah, you arrive to the very hot and dusty world of Tatooine. The twin suns blaze above you, and you've come in. Popara had arranged some docking landing arrangements, so that's pretty much taken care of. So yeah, you step out of the hangar bay there to just a not too quiet but not too busy part of town. Again, hot and dusty, and yeah, where from here?
Should we go sell the guns?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's a
we're-
buyer's market, isn't it?
We're supposed to be meeting an arms dealer, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, but do we really want to, complicate things on that front?
Cricket.
Cricket.
I
feel
mean,
like
yeah,
it'd
we
be
can go
better.
see the arms dealer first, and then bring the guns later. There's no real rush, right?
Yeah, let's get the lay of the land here and figure out what who the players are here in the city before we start dragging around crates full of weapons.
Yeah, that's a good
Let's do it.
idea.
So you guys,
I do want to.
go
I
ahead.
would say, I guess we talked about it in chat. But I'll say it in game. So why don't we leave a couple rifles and a couple vibro weapons here on the ship too when we do sell, in case we have travelers with us again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What do you think? 2 and 2, 3 and 3?
Sure.
How many of those we have?
Yeah.
I feel like we have a bunch of them. Let's just do yeah, we have what? Jeez, 9 rifles. Let's do 3 and 3. 3 rifles, 3 vibro blades.
Okay.
Sounds good.
That you guys are keeping that stuff?
Yeah, we're just gonna keep that on the ship, and then we'll eventually
Right.
probably sell the rest of whatever's left over.
Okay, cool. All right. Yep. Remember that.
And
Yeah.
I think R2, you were keeping the slug thrower, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool.
Were you actually? Yeah, we probably should have done that over the last couple weeks. Rix,
Yeah,
were you going to
let's-
look at those modifications and do anything with those?
I think we're just gonna just keep whatever's on them. I think you said just call 3 standard ones, so I guess I'll leave it up to R2. What he wants to say they are.
Yeah, if he wants to leave that on there, or they can be repurposed and distributed.
Hey, I'm all for keeping them on there.
Well, I'd imagine.
Now remind me, you can only put a mod on a weapon that you've have like the frame for or something, right? You can't just slap it on anything. Okay.
It's a chassis is a specific
Right, yeah.
enhanced thing.
Yeah, and then if it, yeah, so that being a blaster, I mean, since they're unnamed, they can go to any of the categories. I think I just posted that in the resources. So blasters have targeting, barrel, core, and attachment modifications. So yes, you could have any of those. So, but anyone else beyond HK and that has blasters, if you have a blaster, you could potentially utilize those attachments as well.
I don't care. I use my lightsabers more often anyway.
And now that I can,
Which
now that I'm getting premiums, those standards aren't going to cut it.
Did I? Yeah, but better than could have more than one of fill it up. So, everyone does have at least one item that's a modifiable chassis, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Is there any limit? Like, I assume you can only have like 1 core, 1 barrel, but then like attachments you could
Yes. So,
say.
no, it's. And if you read the chapter in the Wretched Hives, it depends on the rarity of the chassis as well. Did I give you guys premium chassis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
does that give you 1 augment?
It gives
Checking
you
right now. So there's 1 past the augment. Enhance items.
Like we're doing this all wrong and putting too much stuff on a weapon.
Oh, where's this at? Got moved around a little bit. I can't remember where it's at.
I want to say, since it's premium, it has 4 slots total. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it might be standard and premium might be 4, and then I think maybe the next one up is where you start getting an augment.
I think that's right.
Why is the table not here anymore?
I just looked at it well, I guess it was 2 weeks ago.
I think you're right. Maybe it's in.
No, there it is. There it is. It's
Is it in
about
enhanced
halfway
items?
down. Yeah, about halfway down. Just right below.
Give me something to control F.
Modification slots.
Not the available one though.
Yeah, modification slots by rarity.
Yeah, by rarity.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Okay.
Premiums
Yeah.
4, standards 4.
Right in
yep.
front of my face. Okay, so yeah, 5. So prototype, the next one up is where then you would get the augment. So to your original question, Rix, premiums you get you have 4 slots, and they have to, I do believe they have to be unique. I think some of them can say if they can stack, but I'm pretty sure for the most part they're unique. Augments is where they can potentially stack, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You can't have more than
Yeah.
one barrel. I wasn't sure about attachments.
Yeah, yep. So things like that. But yeah, the attachments that could maybe be, and actually I think, Kate, did that get changed? Maybe. I'm trying to. There might have been a conversation actually where it was that the ones like barrel you said, and then maybe like targeting the ones that made sense that you can't double up, you don't.
Yeah, like I was thinking, there's like an attachment for a magazine and an attachment for like a silencer. Well, theoretically, those could both fit on a gun. They don't go in the same spot on the weapon.
So okay. I mean, I guess really, I guess just discuss it and let me know, and then we can kind of make a call and see. But otherwise, and then also, so in regard to upgrading your chassis, I think I have that information in the resources as well. So it's basically, I forget what it was. There's cost of it's up there in their base chassis cost is the chassis cost is based on the basic item multiplied by the rarity level. So like prototype would be times 3. So if you took a fine wrist pad, 600 credits times 3, that's going to be 1800 credits. And then half of your existing chassis can go towards that upgrade. So anyway.
Right.
I hear Mr. Pringle's barking in the background. Can we get him a treat?
That needs to be a stream, like a chat thing. Get the dog a treat.
Get the dog a treat, Mr. Pringles. Okay.
Every nat 20, Pringles gets a treat.
There you go. It's gonna be a fat dog.
Yeah, he's gonna be hungry.
Or that. Yeah.
I was about to say.
And we've already had
hungry.
a nat 20 and a nat 1 already, one each. So. But
that is true.
All right. Okay. So you guys are coming off your ship, and you said you're gonna kind of go check things out before you sell your weapons and whatnot. As you come out of the landing, the spaceport, landing port, whatever. As I said, there's not a ton of activity, but a few people here and there. You get the occasional, there's humans here and there. You get the occasional different non-human species as well, maybe a Bith or a Defil, or an Arcona here and there, wandering around. Most people are keeping to themselves as they kind of wander around.
HK, keep your sensors on.
Will do.
Yeah.
Huh.
There may be bureaucrats hiding in the alleys.
Oh, that is something we want to watch out
bureaucrats.
I guess as we walk out of the spaceport, do we see like I guess what do we see? Is there like a market sort of district or a cantina, or I'm not sure what part of the city this spaceport's in?
Yeah, so there's a ton of docking bays. We'll say there's one. Let's see if I can try and grab this. If I had. Really, I guess it doesn't matter for illustrative purposes, but. Here up in this elbow of the Mos Espa
Okay.
way that curls around. But as you come out of that, you know, there's little buildings here, nondescript buildings that you know of. Any of you, Deb, obviously, and anyone else that may be familiar with the planet, the sand, earthy look buildings that do dot both sides of the street there. A little bit down the way, you see, you know, a few larger buildings here and there, but nothing stands out. You know, everything is you know, looks similar enough that it's tough to tell. You know, there's definitely not like signage and things that are just like, you know, pub or whatever. Nothing like that. Dab could give me a find a bar check. I guess
Investigation.
sure. Yeah, that works. So say that, or maybe lore, but either or.
Same thing.
If that, yeah. Okay. So, being from Tatooine, you have a good idea of what generally cantinas and whatnot, you know, tend to look like, or where they tend to pop up, and you have a good feeling that a few blocks up, you'd be able to find an establishment, and generally across the galaxy, cantinas are, in addition to being a great place for good beverage, are a great place for information. So a few blocks up, you guys kind of walk along the main Mos Espa way there. Dab does point out a building that he's pretty confident. And as you guys get there, you can see there's not a crowd out front, but there's definitely a few extra beings here than what you've seen around. So there's a good sense that this is likely a good spot to check out in the form of a cantina.
Wonderful. Does there happen to be a big sign out front that says no droids?
There does not.
Oh. Okay.
This
R2.
canteen is called Everyone's Welcome, R2. Come on in, buddy.
Will do.
So as you get up to the door, there is there's a crude sign. It's almost more of an etching into the side of the door. This is the extent of any signage you might see around here. But this place is the filling station here in Mos Espa. It's a simple doorway that you know, there's no actual physical doors, just a doorway, entryway that you can come into. And yeah, you guys are you guys stepping in?
Yep.
Yeah,
We'll go in.
let's go in.
Dab will brazenly go in first as if he's expected to be known when he walks in.
Okay. So you step in, and your eyes all have to adjust from outside in the bright light of the twin suns and coming into this dark, somewhat smoky cantina. And there's some light music playing, not a live band, but just something recorded that's playing in the background quietly. You can hear the din of the patrons that are there, the clinking glasses, the conversations going on, whatnot. And yeah, as you guys enter in, the bartender, who is a simple-looking service droid, just looks up at you and says, "Welcome, patrons. How may I serve you?"
You're up, R2.
Oh God. Yeah, we were looking for a. I don't know what to say here. I say that out loud.
The droid looks at you and cocks his head, and he says, "Generally, you ask for a beverage to drink." Well, not you, of course. And then he turns to the others.
Yeah, how
Is that
about
a challenge?
a round of drinks for my friends here?
Says, certainly. What is your poison?
What's good around here?
I'll take a glass of poison.
So he
You drink that?
Mm-mm.
he rattles off a few things. He mentions, a Bloody Rancor, which is like a mixed liquor drink. There is the Tatooine Sunburn, which has a couple mixture of drinks. So you get a couple little bit of colors in there, and then there's various beers that you can find there. Some good Celestin gin. Just depending on what you're looking for.
They have whiskey in here, right?
Sure thing, yeah.
Yeah, got any, I think there's Corellian whiskey. Got any Corellian whiskey?
He looks around and he says, yes, we do. It is a bit rare out here at this time, but we certainly have that. One glass will be... he thinks on it a little bit. He says, 15 credits.
All right, we'll take a round of those unless anybody else would prefer something else.
All right. Does the bartender know how to make a whipped Wookiee?
A whipped Wookiee?
Yes.
I ain't paying for that.
Also, I'm pretty sure drinking sapient species is just as frowned upon as eating
It's just
them.
the name of a Twinkie. Lighten up. It's delicious.
So Googling it comes up with like a Frappuccino. I'm assuming that's... Good job, Google. But he...
That's gonna... Just
could've
the ice
gone-
alone is going to cost 20 credits here.
Right.
I could have gone much worse though than a frappuccino. So
Yeah.
That's fine. I won't rattle the bartender. We'll take whatever they're ordering.
Yeah, Corellian whiskey's fine.
All right. Yeah. He looks like he's trying to compute this concoction. He says he's just unfortunately I do not recognize that recipe. But if satisfied with your order otherwise, he turns and pours out a glass for everyone and brings that back over. So that's 4, assuming of 4 drinks. The droids obviously, I would assume, aren't having drinks. Or does R2 and HK just want it for show?
No, it's
Do we have
fine.
any motor oil behind the bar?
The
Archie's learned that lesson before.
the droid says that will be 60 credits, please.
Whoa.
all right, I'll give him 60 credits.
All right.
All right.
And the droid just acknowledges, says thank you, and then kind of goes off to clean or help other customers as you guys take your beverages. And there's a few open seats here and there. It's pretty dim in the cantina, a little bit smoky. The heat is still in there. That it just comes in from the outside. But yeah, you see various groups of people, some individuals hanging out.
So, where are we supposed to meet this arms dealer?
R2, you took the message, right? Did the Hutt give us any particulars, or are we just supposed to find him?
Let me think. I'm looking back right now. I don't see anything in the message itself, but what
It says it contains information on the specific item, its location.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So you know who you need to meet. It is a person named Zuti. And they're a very discreet arms dealer here, and but that's it. Popper did not give you specifics on just where you can find them. So
You said Zudi is a Groody.
what's that?
So
You said Zudi is a Groody.
Sugi.
The Sugi.
Sugi is the species.
Mhm. But we know to at least ask for that name or ask for that species.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go up to the bartender. Hey, you know anybody named Zuti?
Could he?
Subtlety.
Is it possible to be louder when you say that?
This is my planet, guys. Don't worry about it.
There's a few people that turn their attention to the Toydarian as you head up to the bar and are a little bit boisterous, but they kind of go back to their own thing. I mean, not that this is a super seedy cantina, but often that activity tends to happen, so some people turn blind eyes. But the droid looks at you and says, he looks at you blankly for a second, tilts his head, and then he says, "I'm sorry, I do not recognize that recipe."
Nailed it.
Not the recipe. A person.
He says, "I'm sorry, I do not have any information to assist you."
Anybody in this cantina that you can point out to me?
He doesn't look like he has anything further to offer. Just says, "I am sorry, sir. I simply just operate the bar."
That's all I got.
So, are you guys all up at the bar with Dab, sitting down somewhere?
Now I'm still sitting at the table just watching.
Okay.
I was gonna say
I'm just enjoying the show.
the droids are just sitting around.
Well, I've got a thing from my background.
All right. Experience in enforcing the law and dealing with lawbreakers gives you a feel for local laws and criminals. Easily find the local outposts and just pick out dens of criminals.
I've got my background thing too.
Yeah, what was yours, Rick's? Kind of like picking people out or something?
It's the contact in the city.
Right. Okay.
Just-
So
Yeah, I can lay the land.
you guys just kind of maybe trying to distance yourself from Dab, sitting at the table pretending, hey, we don't know this guy. But looking around the room, you see a character or two that looks like might be the type to maybe have some information that would be helpful. There's a gentleman in the corner, is kind of kept to himself. He looks like he might you get a vibe from him that he might have some information. And then there's a pair of Rhodians at another table. They kind of give off this vibe of maybe some help. So, but just about this time, this other human male, just rough looking, just kind of slams himself down at your table. He slams both hands down and leans in close next to you, Rix, and in a somewhat hushed voice says, "You guys looking to buy some arms?"
Well, I never turn down a good weapon if the price is right.
Well, I can help you out with that, I think. You just need to go up and order yourself a shot of Boga Noga extra hot.
Boga Noga extra hot, eh?
Can see how that would make a good code phrase.
That will get you to the person you're after. And then he kind of stands up, but then he puts his hand out as if requesting compensation for his information.
I stab him in the hand. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know.
What's a good payoff in on Tatooine. It's like,
I will pay you 100 credits to get the hell out of here.
yeah, the credits as much. I'm not sure the economy here.
Are you saying that, Cade?
I kind of want to, but I don't think Cade would, so he just plinks down 100 credits in his hand.
Okay. You see his eyes kind of light up, and he tries to hide it, and he grabs it and he says, "Appreciate it very much. Best of luck." And then he kind of like scurries off into the shadows of the cantina.
Was he lying?
You can.
Seems like a very specific lie, which is why I didn't consider it beforehand.
You can give me an insight check.
Classic.
Rix, you can as well if you want.
Nah, I'm good. I'm thirsty.
Okay.
I'll go up there.
Yeah. So, I mean, Cade, you get. He's hard to, you know.
Does he immediately leave the cantina?
No.
Okay.
No. You don't get necessarily a bad feeling, but you can't really read him.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, he just kind of goes and wanders off to a dark corner that you figured he was probably hanging out in before he came to your table.
Well, I guess I'll finish my drink and then I guess I'll go get another.
All
I
right.
don't know what the damn hell a Boganoga is, but
Don't forget, extra hot.
extra hot. Yeah, I got it. I'll go up to the bar and, excuse me, can I get a Boganoga extra hot?
And the droid just nods in confirmation and turns to the back wall of the bar and begins fuddling with a few bottles and whatnot. Pours out this very bottom-heavy, short, stout bottle. Pours out the shot and brings that over. Over to you and sets it down on the counter and says, "Here you are, sir. That will be 10 credits. Do exercise caution. This is extremely strong."
Thank you. I'll give him 10 credits.
All right. Dab, give me a lore check, please.
I'm not drinking that.
Waka waka.
All right. So you've heard of Boganoga. You know it's a strong liquor, but that's about it that you know of.
Can I slap it out of Cade's hand? And I'm like, "Don't drink that!" Like it's gonna kill him.
I mean, if you want.
Yeah, I do that.
Give me a sleight of hand check, and then Cade, give me a.
That's right.
So I think Cade was in the process of putting it down anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna drink that thing. I'm not drinking anything that's extra hot on this toaster oven of a planet.
All right, then I won't do that.
Okay.
I was just
kinda
gonna take it.
Just bring it
back to
over
the-
and set it down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Set it down in the middle of the table and just kind of look at it.
And I guess seeing that he set it down, I'll go ahead and reach for it and give it a check before I drink it.
I don't think you're gonna want to do that.
Give me a. I guess a.
Your perception, like smelling it, giving it a
That's
little.
what I was thinking. Yeah, give me a perception check. I feel like there's something else that would work better for that, but but I guess
Yeah.
perception is scent. Never mind. All right, so yeah, you you take a big heavy whiff of this thing, and it is strong. It is something fierce. I mean, you don't get any sense whether you'd have this ability or not that it's anything wrong, like poison or anything, if that's kind of what you're after. But it's a strong liquid. It's got a red tint to it, a reddish hue, but yeah, beyond that, it's spicy.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. Is it actually warm, or is it just?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, Not more than anything else on this planet.
So, after a few moments, a figure approaches the table. A Arcona. His large, glossy, speckled eyes just blink at you. You might get lost in them, kind of looking these almost reflective eyes of the almost the pointed triangular head as he wanders towards you. He kind of has a little bit of a tick about himself. He's I think they had second. Yeah, so as he come over, he's got that pushed up snout, and you see him licking his lips. He's constantly licking his lips as he comes over, and he sits down next to you, and again, in a little bit of a quiet, hushed tone, he says, I understand that you've requested to speak with Zuti.
That's correct.
And he just kind of looks around at each of you, and he looks at the shot of the Boganoga on the table and says, didn't have the stomach for that.
No,
I don't have a stomach at all.
and I like to keep mine intact.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll pick it up, give it a little toast. Cheers, and I'll take it.
All right.
I didn't get to become a bounty hunter by not taking strong drinks.
So give me a con save.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
So it is a nasty alcohol. It is super strong. There's no other detrimental effects. It's just a nasty ass, to you, shot of booze. So the Arcona, you see his eyes kind of react to that, and he says, I was about to say that I don't blame you for not drinking that strong Hutt ale, but Zuti will probably find that quite humorous that you obliged. If you are ready, I can take you to see him.
Yeah, just give me a second.
You gonna be all right?
Yeah, just need a breather. Okay. Good.
Do we have to carry him in?
Let's.
All right, so you guys finish up your round of drinks and head off and follow behind the Arcona out into the streets of Mas Espa, and he leads you a few blocks. You kind of travel around the city a little bit, a few blocks, then you start cutting down a couple alleys. And you get to a backside of a building. There's a couple rough-looking awnings that jut out from the building with some goods here and there, simple goods, maybe some baskets and maybe some parts, equipment and things like that. Nothing looks of value really. It's a pretty poor look of a merchant's presentation, if you will, but he leads you inside through a small opening downstairs, and you go into a shallow dugout kind of basement of the area, and a very short-looking being waddles out and speaks to the Arcona privately. And then the Arcona steps aside, gives you all a nod, and then leaves on his way. And then this little figure, who is this little Sugi, anyone that might know what that looks like, you recognize this as the Sugi, and you can assume that this is Zuti. He comes down and he says, "Hello, friends. What is it I can do for you?"
Anyone want to take this one?
What about one of the arms people, like Rick's? or
Yeah,
one of
that's
these?
a good idea.
Nope, sorry, I was on mute.
You're good.
Well, we know this is the guy we're supposed to talk to, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
we know that you gun toters have your own lingo.
You ain't looking for a gun though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're here to pick up a purchase that was made by a friend of ours.
Says, yes. What is it you're picking up? Who is this for?
Drawing a complete blank on that guy's name. He's a Hutt. Something Hutt.
Popara.
Popara, yes.
Popara.
I was going to say Gabera.
Popara's the Hutt.
Yeah, we represent Popara the Hutt. He asked us to pick up a weapon of sorts that you had acquired.
Says, oh yes, Popara, yes, mighty Popara. A lightsaber, I believe. Antique laser sword, something like that.
Something like that, certainly.
Yeah.
Says, yes, I did have that here.
What do you mean you did have that here? We're here to pick it up.
Well, in business, if someone pays a higher price, I tend to go with that. So,
No,
one of the locals in town here decided they would like the item themselves as well. And I can either deal with a Hutt who's days and days away, if you're lucky to travel through those
God
hyper
damn it.
lanes, or I can feel the wrath of the Hutt that are right here in the back door. So, yeah, they paid the price, and that's where they went. But hey, I have this other weapon I can give you. This other lightsaber. It doesn't work, but it's similar in style. Maybe you could pass it off. Maybe you could, fix it up.
Now, Rix is gonna casually start to tap the grip of his blaster and say, "Well,
Now,
that Hutt that was a few days away, we're here right now, so you get to deal with us. Who did you sell this lightsaber to?"
Well, that would be the mighty Gardula. Certainly,
could've
you
been
know
worse.
Gardula here in Mos Espa.
Now, we were informed by Popra that the transaction that you had taken with him was already complete.
Yes, certainly it was, but things changed.
That's a hell of a way to do business, my friend. Take money from one and sell to another.
I had sent the transaction back for a return. Perhaps that simply happened during your way here.
So if we contact Popper right now, he'll explain there's no problem at all about this.
Well, I mean, if he really wanted that lightsaber, maybe he's frustrated, but he does have his money back.
Let me see this other thing.
Can I tell if he's full of shit?
You can give me an insight check on that. All right. So, full of shit in what regard? Like, what is what do you?
About that did he actually refund the money, or is he trying?
Okay. Yeah.
maybe a
No.
little-
He seems very genuine. He's a little bit kooky and whatnot, but he's
Okay.
he seems straightforward, and yeah.
I'm not gonna
Now-
help, but I'm just curious if he was trying to pull the old double cross.
Yep. He says, so the other thing, you'd like to see the other lightsaber?
Sure.
says, one second. And he goes kind of to a back area of his little room, digs through stuff. He's kind of throwing junk over his shoulder, very cartoon style. And he's like, oh, this is it. And he comes over, and he has a hilt of a lightsaber, and he hands it over to you. It's definitely seen wear and tear, but give me either an investigation check, Cade, or yeah, you're only 3. If you were more along on your artificer tools, that would help.
Well, hold on a second, because I might be a dumbass. Just give me a moment here. I swear to God. Okay, for some reason I already have artificer's tools marked as a proficiency on my sheet. I don't think I should have that. Because I don't technically have the Jedi background, and I have no idea where else I would have gotten that. Oh, from human. So, I actually do have proficiency in Artificer's Tools.
Okay. So, yeah, we can come back to the training and figure something else if you want. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so good. So then give me that with your main force casting modifier.
Okay, that'll work.
All right. So you look this over, and you've definitely spent time with these weapons, and you recognize that physically you recognize that this weapon is very old. It's physically it looks old, but it's in good shape otherwise. It is kind of ornate. There's a lot of etchings and some design to it that you don't see too commonly current day. This seems quite old of a lightsaber hilt.
Are there any symbols that I recognize among the etchings?
No, nothing that stands out. It definitely there's not really any identifying symbols or markings. It's more just that it was kind of ornately decorated.
Okay.
But it just goes to its how old this item is. And as you're investigating this, Zuti comes over and he says, "Yes, it's a very nice item. Yes, very similar. I got it with the other one that I sold off to Gardula. But this one did not work."
Where did you get these? And I will just very casually manipulate the lightsaber hilt with the Force, like just spinning it above my hand and then catch it again.
Mm-hmm. He just looks at you and says, fancy trick. I'm sure you can understand that the nature of my business and utilizing discretion, so I do not reveal my sources.
He has journalistic
All right.
integrity.
How much work is this thing going to take to fix? Is my question.
Are you asking that to him or?
Well, just based on my knowledge.
Yeah. So, you have a good feel without really opening it up, but you have a pretty strong sense that it probably needs a crystal. That's going to be one of the main aspects of it.
Hell yeah.
And then maybe a power cell or whatever, things like that. But probably your crystal is going to be your main aspect to get it up and running.
Okay.
Gosh, if we could just take this and go hunt down the other one, that'd be my ideal.
Yeah, honestly, because I have a theory about these lightsabers, but I don't know if I'm right.
You probably are.
So Zudi says you know, if you know how to get this thing working, you know, you could probably just pass it off as the one that Popara purchased originally. I'd give you guys a good deal on this one, and then hey, maybe you make some extra coin. I don't know if it matters, but the other one did have a silver blade.
Yep.
So, Zudi, you're proposing and advocating that we try to pull one over on a Hutt.
No, not pull one over. You're just making better of a bad situation. It's just business.
A bad situation that you put us in, my friend.
Yes, I perhaps, but definitely not intentionally. No offense to you. You all seem like great people. It's just business. I will
How do you
listen. I will
accidentally
give
sell
you.
our
I will
lightsaber
give
here?
you this hilt for 5,000 credits.
Okay.
Ah,
Are we? I'm gonna fly forward and I'm gonna pull my cowl down because I've had it, and I'm gonna very intimidatingly go up to this dealer and say, you rip off our our boss, and now you want to rip us off. And I look at him and I say, I am the cannonball of Tatooine. Maybe you have heard of me. But if you haven't, I suggest you give us this lightsaber for free.
He looks at you and he says, I've heard your tales. I've heard of why you left this planet as well. And
Wah, wah, wah.
he turns to you, Cade, and he says, you obviously understand this weapon. You know, I see it in your eyes that you understand the value of this. Make me a fair offer.
oh man.
Kill him, Cade.
My theory was wrong.
Uh,
I was thinking
Deb-
that they were going to be Revan's lightsabers.
Dab, give
Aggressive
me a
negotiation.
intimidation check as well.
Yeah,
Oh, gosh.
and I'm willing to burn my last lucky on this one. That's fine. Can I buff myself first?
Sure.
Get it? Oh, get it!
Yeah.
All right. So, despite his retort about you and the cannonball, he does turn to Cade and tells you, hey, you know, make an offer, whatnot. But Dab gets a little bit back into his face, and then you see Zudi back off a bit, and he says, there's a moment of silence as he's kind of just sitting there. He says, okay. 1,000 credits.
I'll do that.
I was gonna say I'll do it.
We can all chip in. That's fine.
As the merchants in Italy say when we go through the leather markets selling purses, everyone best price, give you best price.
Yeah.
So he says, excellent, we have a deal. Please send Popara my apologies, but you all look like quite the outfit that you'll be able to return to him with a fully functional lightsaber. Now, is there anything else that I can help you with?
Yeah, show us everything you have.
Oh Jesus.
Everything?
I was looking around. Do we see like other, like normal weapon shop kind of stuff? Does it seem high end junk or?
So it is. I mean, it's super disorganized here. You know, as shown by that display of him pulling this item out, he just has stuff everywhere. You know, so he's just going through and he begins to kind of just show his hand around it, just piles of junk. You know, it just depends on what you're looking for.
High end and or exotic.
It says, well, you just took off the high end and exotic off my hands, as he points towards the lightsaber.
What about high end?
High end what? You looking for
Things that go boom very loudly.
Loud booms, huh? Loud booms. Yes. He goes and digs through some piles, and he's throwing a few things over his shoulder that look like grenades and detonators. He's throwing them, and then he pulls out a few things, and he brings them over and throws them down at your feet. He says, "Here, I have these, and they're various explosive devices."
Cade catches a few of the grenades in the force and just kind of like sets them down gently on the ground.
Thermal detonators?
Where are those under?
They're in adventuring gear.
Got it.
I think.
Yes, they are. Yep.
Okay,
Under
good.
explosive.
Yep.
So.
Jesus, they're so expensive.
Right. Yeah. So he
But I have haggling.
he's got a couple thermal detonators. He's got a couple flash grenades, and then just some basic frag grenades as well. There's a couple of each available.
Whatever you want, guys. I'm gonna haggle this guy. Watch.
Well, I'll front some credits if someone wants some grenades.
Should potentially also see if he may be interested in purchasing as well as selling.
Yeah. Do you want to ask him?
Yeah. Let's say,
Okay.
Zudi, are you in the market to purchase any weapons? We may know where we can get some.
Says, yes, certainly. Always in the market for bringing on new merchandise for the right deal, of course.
Mm.
Well, what do we have? We've got.
I'm trying to go through here what we got left. So we've got.
You see him. He's like giving you guys all the up down, looking around, like almost peering around you. He says, "Don't see
It's
very
not-
much on you. What is it that you have to sell?"
Well, we didn't want to shove crates through the Mos Espa way.
Great, huh?
Well,
Mm.
We have what? Six blaster rifles,
You
3 vibro axes.
You'll be very likely to catch attention hauling a bunch of equipment like that around.
that's why we left it on our ship.
Ah, yes,
keep
good.
frag grenades. I think we should keep the head comms; those are useful.
Yep.
Yeah.
3 vibro axes, 2 blaster carbines, 6 blaster rifles, 4 vibro blades, a holdout. That. That's what we got. So I can type it in here.
How much for all of that, Zuti?
So let's see. Anything? Are you from the Rhodian weapon crates? Yeah, go ahead and I guess just type it out and we'll look at it real quick.
The Rhodian stuff we sold. I think all we have left is the bone
you? Okay.
stuff, and then the
Yeah.
Radigan thing. So it's 3 vibro blades, or vibro axes, 5, 6, 7, so 4.
There's
So make us a fair offer for all of this.
4 vibro
Zuti.
blades. There's a cool you could potentially use it in this as well. There's this cool little one sheet I found, and it's basically to help in this situation where you assign a dice to the weapon, and I guess you guys have like quite a bit, so it'd be a little bit less quantity, but so you'd say, all right, this item is a D6 value. So then you go to the vendor and say, I want to sell this, and you roll it, and then that's the value that comes out on it. And that's like what the vendor's offering, something like that. And then yeah, it's pretty cool. This is kind of cool little system like that. I think they did too for magic items. It was like based on the number of syllables. So if you could like make up the name, like, oh yeah, this is a magic hammer. Like, no, that's a, uh, yeah, something,
yeah, Sparkle
yeah,
Slam or something.
yeah, just to extend the
I think I had
the
a
name.
stroke
So.
right there.
But let's see, hold out.
It's a Holy Avenger. How many syllables can I cut down Holy Avenger to?
3.
Doesn't really apply for this setting.
And rifles. How many blaster rifles? 6. All right.
Yeah, we had a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah,
Just
the
in-
Jedi.
just in
The
case you
Jedi
want
Council
to-
will be very happy to know that I'm an arms dealer now.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the
no,
drug
Oh,
dealer,
user.
unless you
An
tell them.
arms seller.
All right.
At
And the
least
na-
you
and
want to
the
go stand in
narcotics
front of
user.
Yoda and lie to him.
You see,
See how well that goes.
you see Zudi calculating.
Exactly.
He takes notes on everything that you have to offer. So it's looks like he's calculating some numbers in his head, and he says, "Well, I would normally offer around 2,500 credits for that, but you made a good deal with that lightsaber. I'll give you 3,000 for all the equipment."
Can I push it with my business savvy?
Rix, give me a. Yes, Dad. 1 second. Is that like a roll or something, or you just a feature?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's persuasion.
Yeah. 1 second. Rix, give me a. You have arms tech, right?
Yeah.
And then give me that with intelligence. Okay. I hate the word implements.
And,
Yep.
Yes.
So
let me use my farming implement.
you can't place the number, but like probably new. The offer is definitely well under new, but that's to be expected. You would say that the offer is around maybe half value, maybe a little more. It sounds decent, but that's about it. What you can kind of grasp on that. Dab, let's see. What do we got to do here? Okay, so you're just making a check against this. Okay. So what were you asking him? Were you saying something to him about it?
If I discern that that's a fair deal, then what I'm going to ask for is 25% off anything he sells us after this transaction.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll say that Rix kind of relays the information that being kind of the go-to arms person of the group, he feels that this is a pretty decent deal here.
All right.
So then, yeah, give me a check to see if he will help you out. All right, very nice. He says
25 for 25%, buddy.
Says, yeah, I think we can certainly arrange that. We will see what you purchase. It'll be easier the more you take away, of course. But we can see. So, what is it that you'll have?
What does everybody else want? I'll go last.
Well, I'm honestly good, unless he's got like a. Yeah, I mean, we have his lightsaber. I don't think he's gonna have anything else that I'm interested
You got
in.
any extra lightsabers back there?
There are
Just
3
one round.
lightsabers in this room, and that's probably all of the ones in the entire city, aside from the one we were actually here to look for.
Yeah. Seems like it. I'm looking here.
What
Silver Blade.
Dab, you were
Davy Jones.
what you were looking for the detonators?
Yeah, and I also ask him if he has any breaching charges.
He digs around at
We're planning a heist. Can
something,
you tell?
yeah.
I mean, we're breaking into a Hutt palace, so
Maybe we see if
Do you
we
think we
can
need
buy
one
it
more?
from her first.
yeah, sure.
All right. So he digs around. He says, "Yes, I have one. These are tough to come by, but I have one."
How
So
much?
he says, "I normally get those for 700 credits."
I'll give you 550. And I'll buy 2 thermal detonators.
What did you offer on the breaching charge?
550.
550. And two thermals, he says.
Yes.
He says, "I can do that. Thermal detonators, same price, 550 each."
Very good. So I'll give you 1,500. I can't do math. 1,650, I think.
1650, yes.
Perfect. I take those.
All right.
And I'm gonna hand one to R2, and I'm gonna say, "When the time is right, buddy."
R2 gives a little salute with a manipulator, and then thinks, what?
All right.
We'll figure it out.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
No one else go. I'm still looking stuff up.
Would he happen to have any med packs or any of that stuff?
No, he does not.
Right.
Where are power cells?
They're just 10 credits.
Well,
I
did
think.
the other ones all move to enhanced items?
Oh. Good
I
question.
was just going to mention that for... Yeah, they are. See, rarity.
SW5E. Hasn't changed? Give it time. It will.
Oh, wait, those are light... No, cells are light weapon modifications. That's not what I wanted.
What are you looking for?
Just like the different power cells.
There's power cell average, which gives you +1.
Yeah,
It's
no,
under
like the
enhanced items.
burning, there was like... Wasn't there stuff like burning power cells and...
Yeah.
Is that in armor? No.
Dude, ammunition.
Ammunition. Where
Oh
the
yeah,
hell is
here
that
they
at?
are. Yeah, they're still in adventuring gear. You got like the light
Adventuring gear,
cartridge.
ammo. I just wasn't thinking of ammo, so... Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody... Remy, get some different ammunition for your light bow, or anybody else, things like that, but...
You know what? I need that thing that triggers the thermal detonator. I mean, the breaching charge. He has one of those, I'm sure. To go with it, right?
Remote
I just bought one.
detonator?
I just want. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
a
it.
clicky pen.
Clicky
Do you have
pen?
a clicky pen?
Yeah, I was gonna say I just bought one of
He
those
does,
in our
yes.
play-by-post, Todd. I
So
can't remember.
100
what it's called.
credits for that.
All right, I'll take one of those.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
Let's go blow up the palace, guys.
Okay, well, let's talk. Let's probably talk to our boss first.
Good idea.
I have a purchase now
That's not who I
that I
wanted,
figured
I wanted-
everything out.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think. Yeah.
HK is just trading in his light pistols for light slug pistols. He's got 2 of them. He wants, light ones back and plus whatever change here, because
Say that again? You're doing...
So he has 2 light pistols right now, and he'd
Mhm.
like to trade in them for slug pistols.
Okay.
And there's like 100-point sort of difference here that he'd like back.
Light slug pistol. Okay, and then...
Getting the matching pistols to go with your rifle.
Yes, I enjoy slug pistols' reliability. Not to mention certain useful aspects about them.
All right. So yeah, he looks those over. Was one of those modified? Or
No, we
did
got.
you have something
I-
modified that was from
There was a light pistol that was modified
the
from early on.
Rhodians?
Yeah, I think we ended up selling that to the other arms dealer in Narsha.
Okay. Yeah, I think you did actually. Okay. So Zudi looks these over and he says, "Yeah, I have those. I have the slug pistols. Those. Where'd they go? He says, "Yes, I can give you. You're looking for 2 of them,
Yeah.
or just okay, 2 of them. Yeah." He says, 400 credits for the pair. If you're looking to trade in, I'll give you." Thinks about it a bit. He says, "I give you 100 credits back on that." Is that what you originally wanted? Anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will suffice. Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah. So he trades those out.
I want that disintegration rifle the Mandalorian's got. Got one of those?
I know. I was looking at that,
An
but I do not have
an
enough money
Amban
right now.
sniper rifle.
Yeah,
Does
you got one of
not.
those?
He does not.
Zudi?
I'll look for one eventually. I'll
That
get one.
turns Jawas into Force Ghosts.
Is that the
They are-
disruptors, right?
Yeah,
So
Oh,
there's
that's,
yeah.
the
yeah, that's
disruptor
technically what it'd be, isn't
rifle,
it? Yeah.
Disruptor.
Yeah, I don't
pistols.
I'm pretty sure
Incinerator
Drake
pistol.
made like a specific like artifact legendary weapon for that thing too. But there are disruptor cartridges that you can buy that.
Yeah.
So you get to disintegrate, yeah.
The
Yeah.
disruptor pistol is 4,000 credits. The
That
rifle
is
is
money.
7,000. So, but yeah, like the disintegrate. If
insane.
you, what does the 13 mean?
So but see, you have to get them to 0 hit points anyway. Then they make a
Yeah.
con throw.
Oh,
So
and
they're-
the 13 is the
yeah.
con save.
Then they just
Okay.
don't
Mhm.
get. There's no way for them to like have a dying condition and come back. I
But for
guess.
that
So they're-
sweet flavor.
Yeah,
That'd be
right.
great for PvP, wouldn't it?
Alrighty.
That's how Dab wins when
I
Cade
want
and him
it.
finally go at
That's
it.
right.
Just-
Yeah.
Oh, cheatsies.
All right.
it
So,
was never personal.
any other final transactions? We can take care of some stuff otherwise later if you want, but good otherwise.
I'm good.
Yeah, sounds
All
good.
right. So he says, thank you again. Come see me again sometime if you'd like. Have more to sell, more to buy.
Right. Are we gonna hand wave that we went and got the
Yeah.
stuff off our ship and then
Yep.
brought it to him?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Say, Zudi, since we're such good friends now,
Nailing it.
you wouldn't mind letting me know just in between us how much the Hutt paid for that lightsaber, would you?
He says, well, I told him it was already, purchased, but she had to have it. She said she made an offer of 20,000 credits.
That's
Yeah, let's just blow them up.
All right, but I appreciate that, Zudi. We'll definitely stop by again if our travels bring us to Mos Espa.
That is great to hear. Great to hear.
Does a silver lightsaber ring any bells with me? As Cade.
Give me a
Or Dab.
dab. Actually, dab.
I'm not a Jedi, though.
At all.
I know of the Jedi, but no.
So where? Because you have a lightsaber, right?
Yeah, I killed somebody in the arenas for it.
Okay, so then in that, well, yeah, actually, no, there's still something. So, Dab, give me a lore check, and then, Cade, you can give me intelligence or wisdom with your artificer tools.
Okay. I'll do wisdom. Because that's a positive modifier.
Nice, alrighty. So, Cade, it comes to you right away that you understand where a silver-bladed lightsaber, where the look and the effect of a silver-bladed lightsaber comes from. Generally, this color is achieved with a Durant Fire crystal or gem. And Dab would, I'll illustrate and say that you're kind of mentioning to the group, and Dab lights up and it clicks in his head. And he says, "Yes, the Durant Fire. These are gems or crystals that are found on Tatooine."
Cool.
Oh. Well, are you saying, Rex, are you saying we get 600 credits each?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Because we sold for 3,000, right?
Well, yes. And then we each bought things those of us that bought things bought them individually. So yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if Dab had done anything to haggle the price or not.
Just discounts on purchase.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Good call.
So,
Well, if I can find a Durant Fire crystal, I can probably repair this thing.
on your guys' way out, Zudi, he said, "Oh wait, yes. One little extra piece of info that might help you out if you're looking to get after that weapon you have there. Do some work trying to look up a Teenan Nal. He's a Tunroth. He's known to be a good tracker and survivalist. He'd probably make good help of getting you to the right spot if you need to find what you're looking for there."
All right. Where might we find this Teenan?
Says, "Well, that is part of the journey to find him. You didn't come directly to me, right?"
No, we did not.
Does he have a favorite drink at the bar too?
Says, he laughs. He says, "Did you enjoy that Hutt Hellfire of a liquid?"
Definitely has a unique flavor profile.
"That it does." Says, "But no, there is no special phrase to seek out Teenan, but if you ask around, you might get somebody that can help you point you in the direction. But have a good rest of your day. Come see me again."
I'm gonna say to the group too. So, what's our plan here with the lightsaber Popara is expecting?
Well, let's go talk to Popara. Our ship has a hypercom, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, 'cause before we set off on, hey, let's fix this one up, he made like, no, I want that one.
Yeah. That's what I'm fearing. Breaking it. I mean, I thought it was going to be Java that brought it, which was going to be a bummer. But Gardula is slightly less bad. But if we can avoid, the heist, as fun as that would be, probably be safer to not.
I saw the possibility to do both. I've got a 20,000 credit lightsaber in our pocket. Doesn't sound bad.
If we've got a 20,000 credit lightsaber, I want to keep it. Anyway,
But yeah, I say we go back to the ship and, or make our way back to the ship, I guess, and then contact Popara and get his assessment on the situation before we go rogue.
Yeah, definitely keep him in the loop. I
Yeah.
think is a good.
If it turns
idea.
into more of a than a pick up and delivery mission, I'm going to need some additional compensation.
yeah.
Alrighty, so you guys just head back to your ship.
Yep, making sure no one's following us, obviously.
Alright, so just give me perception checks as you guys are wandering wandering back to see if there's any additional eyes or anything that sticks out. So
Hmm.
I guess as we're walking too, I'd like to just notice if there's any other like merchant type shops that may sell like general goods like med packs, clothing, non-weaponry type things.
okay. Yeah, so as you guys head back, the port where you came in and docked, it gets a little more, not more industrial, but less, less established and whatnot as you get out there. So you definitely are kind of going away from an area that's a little more less commercial, I guess, if you will. And so you don't really see anything on your way back to your ship of that nature. But beyond that, it seems like there's a few people here and there that again are just kind of keeping to themselves, wandering around. As you get out to the main SW5E to head back to the docking bay, though, there is a little bit of a not really commotion, but there's something. You hear a few voices and whatnot, and you can hear the hum of a hover barge that is coming at you guys, and it has a somewhat of a raucous crowd nearby it, and there's a group of people on the barge. They all look pretty heavily armored, and you can see as it comes by and passes by you, and there's a large Hutt riding it as well. As it goes by, there's a few Gamorreans that kind of give you an eye as they go by, and the barge continues on its way.
Well,
For a second, I thought that was my ex-wife.
Waka waka.
R2, you are in fact the most surprising one about this mission.
R2's been divorced 3 times.
Well,
That's
four
what
if you
the-
count that one time on Coruscant.
No,
He's
that's
on-
what his
he's on
O3
child
stands
support
for
for
in his
6 kids.
droid designation.
He's paying child support for children that biologically can't be his.
Yeah, the O3 is a win-loss tally for successful marriages.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so
true.
this kind of extravagant parade, if you will, goes by, but beyond that, there's not much else of note as you guys make your way back to your ship.
Cool.
All right, who wants to dial up Popara and explain the situation?
Well, yeah, I'll do it as long as you guys are all still there.
Yeah, we're right.
We're behind you.
We're not
Yeah,
going to leave you.
yeah.
We're right
Alright.
behind you.
Way behind you.
All right, so
There's only so much you can back up, Dab, before you hit the wall behind you.
Boom! Ah!
so
That's what I said.
dial up Popara, and after a few moments, the signal connects, and the recognizable droid appears in front of you. Hello, this is H3PO. How may I help you?
Hey, H3, we'd like to talk to Popara about a little bit of a development that's happened.
In what regard?
In the regard that there may be another interested party in our little mission here.
Yes. He is much displeased. He had received return of his purchase of the item that I assume you all are trying to gather. He is very frustrated and upset at this.
Well, we may have a couple alternatives. One being we were able to secure a different lightsaber that is at this point in a state of disrepair, but we might be able to fix it. The other option is that we break into Gardula the Hutt's house.
He says, I would not advise that. Gardula, we do know, is very influential there in Mos
Yeah.
Espa. But she may possibly be able to be reasoned with. I do know that the mighty Popara would very likely suggest that you try diplomacy first. Perhaps there's an agreement that can be made. Their two families, clans, do not always agree, but they stay out of each other's way. So, perhaps it would be best if you try to negotiate a deal first before you cause any further rifts between the two Hutt clans.
And if I guess overhearing that, I'll say, and if a deal cannot be reached, what would Popara recommend we do?
He just kind of says, I would strongly suggest that you do as much as you can to ensure that you obtain the item.
All right. Well, we'll do our best. Would Popara be okay with a replacement? If it were to come to that.
He says, Popper is under the impression that the specific item that he purchased is very unique, very special, and that is what he is after.
Very well. Well, we'll do our best.
And H3, might we assume that should more drastic measures need to be taken to procure this lightsaber, that the group will be compensated accordingly, since it's no longer a pickup and delivery mission?
He says, Mighty Popra has always been very appreciative and generous to those that help him out. The easier, the quicker, the simpler you can get this transaction completed, the better off that, yes, your additional compensation will come about. Do keep in mind the fragility that is the relationships between the different Hutt clans.
Understood.
All right. We'll say goodbye to H3 and hang up.
All right.
Oh, this is gonna get hairy.
It can't ever be simple, can it?
Well, it wouldn't be fun if it ever were, I suppose.
I mean, we could go around the city and find out if there's something that Gardula wants more than that lightsaber and see if we can offer her a trade.
That's not a bad idea.
Potentially, we could do something in return for it as well.
Yeah.
Dab,
Yeah.
did you I had you roll on knowing about Gardula, didn't I?
I don't think so. I mean, at least you didn't tell me specifically that.
Or was it more about? It was more Mos Espa, yeah, I think. So, yeah, give me another lore check.
I could buff myself because these have been terrible.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
I know everything about her, and I know all her wants and needs and what she's allergic to.
All right. So, yes, to a degree, you do know that she one thing, she loves dwarf Nunas. They're a favorite delicacy of hers. They are a small little animal that is not found. They're an import into Tatooine. They're normally found, I believe it was Naboo. So they're kind of like these featherless chicken-like turkeys, commonly called swamp turkeys. So that's one little delicacy that she enjoys, one little tidbit. You also know that she, to a degree of addiction, loves to gamble, especially in bet on pod racing.
Oh man, this is a pod racing
Oh,
adventure.
Christ.
Oh, it's a good thing we have so many good pilots.
I mean, we're gonna see R2 across the finish line. Let's be honest.
First droid racer here.
So can we
I'm ready.
go find out around Mos Espa if there's any pod racing coming up?
Yeah.
In fact, it's the boon to Eve. Wait, that's the wrong.
That's a boot to Eve.
Oh my god.
Hi, everybody.
As well as trying to find out where we can acquire some of these slime turkeys.
Alrighty.
Swamp turkeys? Was it swamp or slime?
Swamp.
I'm gonna call them slime turkeys.
I mean,
You're gonna get something different.
ah,
The bartender says, "I'm sorry, I do not know that recipe."
yeah, saw that one coming.
All right. So, anything else here on the ship? Are you guys just heading back into town?
Just sit in the air conditioning for a little bit, and then
for a
head
little
back
while.
out.
What time of day is it roughly? We've been in and out doing stuff.
We'll say mid-afternoon.
Okay.
Oh,
you
so
guys-
the hottest part of the day.
Yeah.
Good.
Let's go back out.
But mid-afternoon getting into early evening. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right, we go back out and we're gonna try and track down both of those leads.
Yeah, pod racing and slime turkeys.
Nice.
All right. So, give me two people. Give me investigation checks. Hang on one second. Anybody that is... Does anyone have proficiency in animal handling and or nature? Did I get a party that
Nope.
chose neither of
Me.
those?
Feels like a Remy thing.
No, I
This
did
is
not.
space. There's no animals in space.
Yeah, there's no animals in space.
All right.
We,
none of-
this party goes out of its way to kill animals when we can.
right? I mean, you did kill
Yeah,
an
let's-
entire
let's
tree.
not.
Or get them addicted to drugs.
So then, how about survival? That'll be the next one.
I got
Nope.
Nope.
Oh shit.
Oh, damn.
There's some,
Okay.
There's some droid upgrades to
All
get,
right. So Rick's,
space and
with your survival instincts, you just are able to connect with a few people or understand the right people to ask about these creatures that you may have yourself stumbled across here and there throughout your travels. So you ask around, you see a few vendors here and there that look like they might offer some interesting food items and things. But you don't come up with any. What people can tell you though is that again that they're imported. It's costly to import them, and you don't very see them. One or two vendors have mentioned that they have heard that Jabba has imported them. He certainly is able to afford that. But beyond that, they're definitely not easily accessible otherwise.
Are these the things that Jabba bit the head out off of and spat at the gong? to
Actually, I think
start
it
the
is.
pod
Yeah.
race?
Now that I think about it, I actually was. I just was watching that last night, and I think yes. So it's pretty funny.
Top tier cinema.
Going on a quick tangent. Have you guys watched the Mandalorian thing on not the show, but the behind the scenes thing?
the making of
Oh, yeah.
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 Do you
yeah.
see? I think
So
it's like
cool.
episode 3, the ending where Dave Filoni goes on that whole spiel about Anakin and everything, and Qui-Gon and all that.
Oh, the Duel of Fates.
Yeah, and just how like that basically sets in motion everything.
Huh.
Anyway, like if you haven't, go back and watch that ending again. It's amazing. But anyway, after hearing that, I was watching Phantom Menace a little bit about something, and like it's changed my perspective. That's always been one of movies that I don't enjoy a ton, but definitely have a good different perspective on it now. So
Dave Filoni's like super Star Wars nerd. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. So
like I always thought it was interesting, like the stuff he would talk about. It's like I think it was I think it was the first episode even where he was talking about like hey, we're all in George Lucas's universe. We have to keep that in mind and do
Right.
stuff. And it's like oh yeah, and that's why stuff you do turns out really well, and stuff that
Yeah.
other people do didn't go so well.
exactly, yep, for sure. Yeah, he's a genius in that sense for sure. So
Yeah.
okay, so that's what you find out about those things. As far as the pod racing,
You should make us have another check because it's going to be another natural 20.
I guess just give me
Technology?
somebody R2, you have mechanics kit?
Yeah, I do.
All right, give me a mechanics kit check with intelligence.
Oh,
Nailed it.
Ooh. 19, it was almost a 20, almost.
Almost.
Oh man.
Nice. All right. So R2 runs around and just he seems to have a knack for running into to the right person that might have some information on these races and whatnot. So for the most part, there a few people mention races here and there that are scheduled, but there's nothing recent or anything upcoming very soon. Definitely outside of the initial timeline that Popara gave you to retrieve this. You do, though, find out that Gardula will spawn a race on her whim. She loves to watch the races. She loves to bet on the races. So if an interested party comes along that would like to join a race and she can have an opportunity to bet on that, she will absolutely pull together some racers to do so.
Huh.
Looks like we need to get some slime turkeys and use them as collateral to race.
Oh, goodness.
That, or we could just play on her gambling addiction and tell her us 6 against her best 6 or whatever monster she can throw at us in the arena. I am a gladiator
That
after
is
all.
true.
That's we're on Tatooine. That sounds like Rancors and Crate Dragons. I'm not
We
sure.
can do it. We can do it, buddy. Believe in yourself.
I
Rex.
believe in us.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Your best,
Arju's got a,
your
if
best
Arju's
6
got another
monsters
holy hand grenade.
within reason.
Well, why don't we try to track down the slime turkeys first and then go meet with her?
So
I
Rick's,
mean, that's my thought.
Rick's basically found out that you're not able to find them. A few vendors, 1 or 2 vendors, told him that Jabba often has them imported, but beyond that, you don't really see them very often, if at all.
Well, let's go find out what the cook at Jabba's townhouse needs, what his vices are, and then we exploit those vices to get the turkeys to exploit Gardula's vices to get the lightsaber.
What a rabbit hole.
Do we know what Popara and Popara and Jabba, their relationship or clan friendliness is?
Basically, they to an extent respect each other, just kind of stay out of each other's way, kind of a thing. They respect each other's territory. So
All right.
yeah, and it's kind of the same thing with Gardula as well. There's definitely not necessarily any bad blood. It's just it's just they just respect each other. They're definitely 2 separate empire's not the right word probably, but they're on Tatooine, and then Popara has his thing back more Nar Shaddaa and whatnot.
So Jabra and Gardula probably
There it
aren't
is
the
again.
best friends. That's
Say-
it again.
Yeah.
That's okay. They're going to
I'm
throw us
probably
some
reading it
free
here.
swag.
What? Say that again though.
Jabra. Wonderful headsets. No, I assume Jabba and Giardelli and Jabra are probably not good friends.
That's when I've been looking up
Giuseppe and Jabra.
Gardula. I've been or Gardettos or something like that. But anyway, Jabra and Gardettos. So that would be something you don't know. You're not sure of you're not sure of their relationship.
In the back of my mind, I guess, kind of knowing sort of maybe that world being a bounty hunter, I'm assuming two Hutts on the same planet aren't best of friends. So
you could say I'll let you. Yeah, that's a fair assumption. Absolutely.
Okay. So I guess the recommendation is we jump on our swoop bikes and head out to Jabba's place. That's what you guys were thinking.
Yeah, we can try that.
That's right. We have
Sure thing.
swoop bikes.
That's right. I'm not walking anywhere across this damn desert.
We could try to holocom over and see if anybody over there will talk to us before we go.
Oh,
Less
I want to
likely,
see that
but
real big
still an
eye
option.
thing that
How's
like waves
Is this
around
number
at us.
listed?
Well,
Yeah, it's
we
it's in
wouldn't
the-
necessarily need to go all the way to his palace. He has a house in town.
Oh, that's
This is
right.
true,
I totally,
yes.
totally spaced out that
townhouse.
there's a thing on the
Yeah.
map. Yes, let's do that.
Let's go to his townhouse.
All right.
Is it in a gated community?
It is not.
It's got a
good.
downtown condo. where we
It
meet the
is a
mistress
gated
after work.
community.
Right.
I mean,
Alright,
look
let's go
how
over
big
there.
it is on the fucking map. It's huge.
Let's do it.
It's got one of those Colombian drug lord
Trying to
compounds.
see if.
It's not even that far from where we
Yeah. No, it's.
parked.
You're not too bad. So.
We head out.
All right, so you head over towards the Deciligic. Do you pronounce the J in these names? Deciligic? Yeah,
Yeah, I never figured that out.
So, the Deciligic complex, also known as Jabba's townhouse, here in Mos Espa. This article says Mos Eisley. That's definitely not it. Yeah, stop by to see if he is available or if there's a representative that you can speak with. So you roll up on it. It's the outside. It looks just like most of the other buildings, that kind of sandstone cement look, but much more elaborate than everything else around it. Obviously, there is one little area that looks like. Most of it is kind of not very accessible, either large walls or whatnot, but there is at least an area that it seems you can at least go up to try and see if somebody's available to speak with.
All right.
So there's
Okay.
you walk up and there is a couple Gamorreans that are at a post. They're outside like a somewhat of a gate.
Allow me, Cade.
Please.
I fly up to them and I pull my hood down, and in Huttese I say to them, "The great Jabba is. We request his presence and audience with him. I am the Cannonball of Tatooine. You have heard of me, of course."
Give me a perception check with advantage.
Is it persuasion?
Sorry, persuasion. Yes, that's what I
Yeah.
meant. Thank you.
That plus
Well-
3 because it's 8, so 26.
Okay. Yeah. So you see the two Gamorreans kind of look at you and look back at each other, and one of them like slaps the other one on the arm, and they're kind of like pointing and grunting at each other, and yeah, they have an expression of recognition, and then you get a sense that they realize that they're a little bit distracted, and they kind of straighten up, and then let out a final, little more. Not aggressive, but a grunt that says like, "What do you want?" kind of a thing. Like, we're busy. Who are you? What do you want? Kind of a thing.
I'm happy to give you both autographs of any paraphernalia you have of mine. But we are here to do business with the great Jabba. He would be very, very displeased if he heard he missed out on this financial transaction.
They look at each other, kind of one scratching its head, wondering what to do, and he turns and he just kind of puts his hand up and grunts and puts his hand up to wait, and he walks off. The other one kind of tries to fill up his space a little bit to kind of keep you guys at bay, but the other one walks back towards the entrance, goes inside, and then comes out, followed by a protocol droid who waddles out behind him, and then the droid comes out and says, hello, I understand that you are here to see the mighty Jabba. Do you have an appointment?
We do not, but we have many, many credits for him.
Well, please understand that there are many, many credits in the galaxy, and that simply doesn't just buy you an audience with the mighty Popara.
Tell him it is the cannonball of Tatooine. Tell him that I fought many times and that he won many credits on my victories.
He says, the cannonball Dab Powers, you say?
That is correct, the one and only.
Yes, we have heard many tales. The mighty Jabba is a little bit saddened that you have not been around very often. He surely enjoyed watching your opponents pummel you and earning those credits.
Perhaps your memory core needs a little bit of maintenance, but either way, I'm back, and I'm sure he would be happy to see me and know that I am willing to fight again if he wants to make some more money. With my friends, of course.
The droid says, understand, I will see if His Excellency is available. Please wait. And he waddles back into the building, and he's gone for a decent amount of time. There's kind of like an awkwardness with the guards there.
So Dab,
Yes?
I don't mean to be frank here, but well, I do actually. Did you have some sort of bad experience here? The arms dealer said he knew the reason that you left.
Listen, I should probably tell you guys the truth. We've been adventuring for quite some time. The last time I was here, I was in a gladiator fight. It was called Vesselmania. It was a fight to the death between me and another opponent called Sith Jericho. The two of us were mounted on a vessel. It was a carved-out, decommissioned Corellian corvette on top of a sinking sand. Last one to win. Needless to say, I may have pulled a fast one so that Sith Jericho lost and I survived. Many people cried foul play, but I won a lot of credits that day. And I retired thereafter and left the planet. Yeah, what do you have to say about that? What do you have to say about that, buddy?
I'm also speechless.
Brother.
I'm sorry, I almost lost it at Vesselmania.
Right?
Thank you. Yeah, we
So
were
good.
both on a hollowed-out vessel. It was great. It's a whole thing.
Oh man. It's
Dab, I don't like you saying Dave, sorry. Dab, you definitely get inspiration for that one.
Thank you.
Not that you
was
need
that
it with
on
your
the
lucky,
spot?
I've been thinking about it for like the last hour. I'm like, I've got to come up with a
So,
whole bunch of wrestling puns for you guys.
but I'll
for
cut
you
in.
guys.
Yeah, I'll cut in and say that because I had asked him a little bit about some backstory, and it was definitely not towards the negative light. So I was definitely taking some liberties there, but
Right.
you ran with it, and that was beautiful. So excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Well, that's Dab's background, guys. There you go.
So that's honest to
Lovely.
goodness what happened.
Yeah,
what did,
that's his-
what did
that's
you
his
try to
backstory.
pull?
So Dab was a heel.
Yes. It was. Let's just say that I used the Force in unnatural ways.
And I'm sorry, hold on. His name was Sith Jericho, as in
Yep.
Sith, like the.
Yeah, he was a dark side user. It was a whole thing. Let's not get into it.
I'm gonna have more questions about that.
Sure.
Later.
Let's through the next chapters. I'm sure I'll give you little tidbits as we go along.
We'll unpack that later. Yeah.
So was Seth Jericho dead?
Yeah, and he's at the bottom of the Dune Sea. Yes.
Oh man! So as you guys are just listening to this amazing tale, the droid, you hear the heavy door of the townhome latch open, and the droid waddles back out and says that the mighty Jabba has agreed to grant you an audience. It will be a short one, but he will gladly see you now if you are available.
Let's do it.
Yep.
So the the guards step aside, and the droid takes you in. One of the guards falls off his post and follows you in behind you. So the droid leads you in. You enter in, and again, there's that initial adjustment to your eyes as things are dark inside. Not as bad because it is kind of getting a little bit later in the evening, but the light is still there. But anyway, you come in, and it's just right away you're just hit with that opulence of this townhome that you would expect for someone that is of such status here on Tatooine. You are escorted down a long corridor lit with ornate sconces on the wall, and you're eventually led into a chamber that is pretty lavishly decorated. There's pillows and things everywhere, and before you on a raised dais a little bit is Jabba himself. And as you come in, there's a few other people, a couple Twi'leks, a couple Gamorreans that are just kind of hanging out as well. And you step in, and Jabba greets you all and says, I don't have my book. As you walk in, it says, Yuba.
I speak at ease, right? Right?
Which is
Yes, I do.
just kind of a greeting that Hutts will use. Says,
Let's all bow. We're gonna bow.
I bow.
Flash Bob.
Does he have a monkey lizard?
R2's go-
you do not see one, no.
R2's gonna curtsy.
I'll,
I don't even know how
Watch
that
it.
works.
No, he
I'm not-
does his drinking bird thing. Remember we established that.
Yeah, the drinking bird thing.
I'll
Mhm.
nod my head. I'm not bowing.
HK just regular bows.
All right, I've role played the hell out of the last couple of minutes. Go ahead, Acade, you're up.
Oh, but why is it me though?
Because
Yeah, that's fair.
You always want to negotiate. Make this smooth.
Well, it's a character trait. It's not necessarily
know.
backed up by stats. Good evening, mighty Jabba. We are looking to procure some swamp turkeys, and we know that you import only the finest things for yourself. We were hoping to secure a small number of them. Obviously wouldn't want to take away from, what you enjoy for yourself. But if you would be able to part with a few, we would be most appreciative. And obviously would show our appreciation with credits.
So you see him listen to your request, and he begins replying. Are you saying, do you speak Huttese?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I said that in Huttese.
All right. So
Also, just an interesting tidbit here. Am I standing on a trapdoor?
give me perception checks.
Oh, shit.
All right. You feel pretty confident that you're not.
Okay, that feels better.
Nothing looks too intimidating in that nature. So, so as you come forward and as you begin speaking Huttese, it's very short because he hides it away because generally he doesn't want to show this. Hutts in general aren't going to show this reaction, but you get a sense that he's impressed that you can speak Huttese. And that goes a long way with him because it's kind of a sign of respect to him, to Hutts in general. So, but he replies back to you in Huttese, and he says he basically asks what you want these for. He says it goes on and says, yes, they're very good. They're one of my favorites as well. But they are rare to come by. What is it that you would like these for?
Lycade.
Now I have to think of a lie.
We
you
like
say
to
that out
eat
loud?
them.
No, obviously I don't say that out loud.
You got this, buddy.
Well, we were unprepared, of course, but we are having a birthday celebration, and we were hoping that we wouldn't have to disclose this in front of them, but it is coming up pretty soon, isn't it, Dab? And,
Oh yeah, pass the lie off. Tag team the lie.
what better way to celebrate the cannonball of Tatooine's birthday than with a party and some swamp chickens and a little too much whiskey?
I'm dying.
Now that he said my name, I guess I have to say, great and mighty Popara, my old friend.
That's Jabba.
It is for me. Yeah, Popara, Jabra, whatever your name is. My friend, my birthday is coming up. I'm going to be 472.
Cade, give me a deception check.
I have proficiency. Can I give him advantage?
You cannot.
Okay.
Oh no! All right.
See what happens if Kate tries to lie.
Here
I mean, I
we
can give him
go.
inspiration.
Is there anything that's affecting this? Is it just me?
The
Just
droids
you.
back off a little bit.
Okay.
Just terrible lying Cade.
Well, I have a +1,
Oh, thank God.
and just for fun, I'm gonna put Defiant on top of it. So it's
Nice.
23.
All right. So Jabba's eyes squint towards you at this this request, and he replies back and says, He says, I don't know many Toydarians who enjoy the swamp turkeys. Interesting, but regardless, unfortunately, I do not expect another shipment for a week or so, and I cannot give up any of the supply that I have.
Well, we thank you for your time.
He turns to Dam. He says, Cannonball, what brings you back to Tatooine? You've been gone.
I wanted to go out and see the galaxy, and let me tell you, there's not much to see. I'm back, and I was looking to make some coin here, wrestling and gladiating. Maybe you could make some money off of me, but if you want to do that, we need some of these swamp turkeys, buddy.
He says, there's not much gladiating that happens these days. Pod racing's where it's at.
Pod racing. We'll We can do it. We can do it, my friend. Do you have racers?
Oh, I can find some, he says. But generally, you put yourself up as a contender yourself.
I think we can make that happen. When is the next pod racing that you anticipate, great Jabba?
He thinks a second and he says, well, my counterpart here in Mos Eisley always loves a good race. She cannot simply resist wagering on the competition. The swamp turkeys, the dwarf Nunas, in fact, are actually going to be for her that I'm getting in. They are one of her favorites. But perhaps a friendly competition around Tabana circuits will help out establish my presence around her and over her.
We can certainly do that. Our R2 unit is the finest pod racer to this side of the Corellia run.
He looks at the droid and he says, "Yes, interesting. We don't see many droid pilots, but that could be fun. Perhaps play in our favor." He says, "I will offer you a pod racer, and as long as you can utilize discretion, I will make sure that it's enhanced in enough of a way to hopefully give you an edge. In most of these races, your opponents, will come from all sorts, but surely Gardula will have a racer or two of her own to try and pull a fast one."
We can make that happen.
Says, "Most excellent. I will send out a message to Gardula and get things started. And in the next, as soon as tomorrow morning, we should be able to have a race together. You can, my droid unit will take you to where you can check out the pod racer and inspect it for as you so wish before retiring for the evening, and then we will be in contact about the race."
Thank you, great and mighty Jabba. Always a pleasure to see you. And I look over at my friends and I kind of like motion for them to give a little bow and R2 to give his little curtsy.
He does.
Yep, Cade will.
And we all back out of there real quick.
All right. So,
Nicely done.
Yeah, Jabba nods and bids adieu, and you are escorted out by the droid and followed by one of the guards. And the droid gives you a comm number, basically, that you can get in touch with him, or that he will reach out to you. But he does say that he gives you information on where to go check out the pod racer as well.
Gentlemen, do we go to Gardula now and make a wager with her?
I almost wonder if wagering the lightsaber might be better done the day of, like kind of like Qui-Gon does with Anakin, just kind of like, well, if you're so excited about the race, how about another wager on it?
Like not giving her time to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works for me.
Like if you win, then you have to have something.
You mean if R2 wins?
Well, if R2 wins, we get your lightsaber.
And if you win, you get the swamp turkeys that we're not going to have anyways.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll do.
All right.
Yeah, we didn't really, we didn't
Anything
really
else?
think this out.
Anything else you guys want to do this evening before you turn in for the night?
Yeah, I guess we would do. We don't have enough time to go check out the pod racer tonight.
You
Or
do.
was that?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's not really anything to like check out. I mean, it's
aside from it, being it's just a pod racer.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll say that you go check that out. There's a couple mechanics there, mechanic droids that kind of point R2, give him good understanding of how it operates. But R2 definitely has some good understanding from a piloting standpoint of how it works and whatnot. Then that's about it for that. So then if you guys, nothing else, then you guys just head back to your ship for the evening and wait
We
for
retire to our cabins.
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So let's do a break here, and then hopefully we can squeeze in the rest of what we got going this evening. So quick few minutes, anyone needs to, and then we'll come back and fire up some pods.
Sweet.
Alrighty, we can get back in. Remy said he's listening, so get back into it. Make sure we hopefully get everything in. So the next morning comes. You guys receive a message from C1PO, the droid that had accompanied the droid companion of Jabba, and reached out and said, we have arranged a race. We will be running the Tiabana circuit this morning. So meet us out at the, and he gives you the information on where to go to. There'll be there's definitely not like a big arena like there is for viewing arena for the Bunta Eve Classic. This is a little bit smaller scale, but there's some roughly produced stands, if you will, for spectators. But of course, Jabba and then Gardula are going to have their own elaborate viewing boxes, if you will, there. So they give you that information, and you are able to get out that way however you want. Take your swoop bikes or whatever.
And is the pod racer being brought out? I
Yes.
assume.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I suppose before things get started, we ought to go talk to Gardula.
Yep.
Let's put our best wing forward, as it were, and have Dab talk to her.
See, here's the thing, buddy. Me and Gardula don't have the same good working relationship that I have with Jabba. It might be better if I sit in the back for this one.
Wonderful.
So you guys get up there. The two viewing boxes or whatever that the two Hutts have, they're definitely separated. But as you approach the one where Gardula is, there's guards, there's Gamorreans, at the base of it. There's a few bleachers sections, if you will, that are kind of flanked to either side. There's definitely a significant area between them, so someone couldn't easily get up to Gardula's place. But there's, you see a collection of people there, all mix of species and whatnot, here to see the race. And there's a handful of racers already kind of getting ready. And there is the pod that you'll be taking is out there as well, getting pulled out in its position spot. So there will be 5 total racers in the race. And so if you want to go and approach Gardula, you can go to the base of her viewing platform, and there's a couple guards there.
Well, Who else is good at talking? I feel like between Dab and I, we talk a lot.
Cricket.
Wow. Overwhelming
HK
response.
has a negative modifier on charisma.
That
You got
is-
this. You got this, Cade. Come on.
All right.
I'm still trying to process what the scheme is here. So I'm
Yeah,
not
we
sure
wanna-
where
we
to
wanna-
begin.
We want to get her to bet the lightsaber
Yeah.
using, I guess. Oh man.
Whatever it takes for her to offer it up.
I mean,
Well,
if you
if
have
I-
like a, if you have like one of those Groucho Marx glasses and nose and mustache, I can go talk to her.
But Jabba also kind of indicated he wanted to pull one over on Ghirardelli here too.
That's a good point. What if
So I'm trying to remember like what his.
So,
what his
just to expand on that specifically, just make sure that the interpretation's there properly, just since I was kind of loosely mentioning what he said. So he wants to almost like woo her. But his true intentions are taking over her power.
Right.
Yeah. So just, I don't want to like misconstrue the words of pulling a fast one on her. He wants to try and impress her, whatever. But if at the same time, if something goes well, if you guys win this race, like that obviously, kind of weakens her, even if only temporary, if she loses a bet or something on the race. So.
Okay.
Okay. What if Okay,
Look,
I see.
I can talk to her, but it's a 50-50 whether she's going to receive me warmly. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I know that I know he's away, but I think he was still listening. But Remy has a good background feature that might potentially help out with this.
Oh.
And he's got some decent charisma, I think. So.
Well, I might let him do the talking then, because I got fucking bupkis.
Let's see if I don't. What is that?
I mean, I think like we could if Jabba is serious about like pulling, like not necessarily pulling one over on Gardula, but if he would let us bet the racer against the lightsaber, and then she loses both the lightsaber and the race, assuming we win, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if Jabba will let us do that.
yeah,
We
if we phrase it to him in a way that she's acquired a rare weapon that she's prized and that she loves now and she's adoring, and if she were to lose it, would just be a big blow to her. He might.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we'll say that you guys have that conversation, whether you had it last night with Jabba, or maybe you check in with him this morning, and he's very receptive to that, and he we'll say that you check in with him this morning about that, and he's really receptive to that, and he likes where your guys' heads at with that, and he says if needed, he kind of asks for confirmation in your pilot's ability, but along with his pod racer, he says he does offer up credits to make a wager with Gardula on your guys' behalf. So you guys making that wager,
Okay.
and coming from you, and then that would help her put up the item.
Yeah. Well, let's use his credits instead, since he's got more of those than he does pod racers, presumably.
Right. Yep.
So how much does he give us? Is there a specific number, or is it?
He says that you can utilize up to 25,000 credits
Well,
to
that'll
wager
work.
on the race.
All right. So are we waiting for Remy then?
Um.
I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's
So you guys head over and while we get into this, because it probably won't really, this conversation won't really affect things, so while we're waiting for him to get back, let's start. Hope you guys sharpened up your molars, because it's about to get crunchy. So.
Oh, yeah.
I'm utilizing an old pod racing rule. I tested it out last night a little bit, so we'll kind of see how it goes. But I think it'll be a little bit more fun than just a traditional skill challenge. So you guys, rather than everyone having so you guys will all have a racer. So this will be a test of metagaming. So R2, as I assumed, would be taking the pilot for you guys, and then everyone else will pick one of the other racers. So I have the colored tokens that kind of matched all of you guys. There's not really, I mean, there are some differences. That red column is going to be the modifiers that we utilize when we do the racing. It's a combination of the piloting and the pod racing column. R2, I believe I got everything correct with you. +3 initiative and then 7 on piloting and tech, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So the way this works is each round, everyone rolls initiative each round. So you start off there, and then the next thing is you move based on your current speed. Obviously, at the beginning, you're not going anywhere. So then you would resolve any track conditions. So there's 10 sections here. Each section is something different. There's straightaways, there's turns, there's obstacles, tunnels. There, jumps, maybe a chasm you have to jump over, things like that. So, and there's different checks that you have to make to kind of avoid those. After that, then you have an action you can take. I didn't copy this over. Damn it. So there's a few different actions you can take. Basically, accelerate or decelerate. Accelerating. And you can go, there's 3 levels, so you have your speed there in the lower left of your box. Everyone starts at neutral, obviously, and you move a number of sections as it says. Low, you get 1 section, high, 2 sections, boost is 3. There's some additional numbers that go along with that. So high speed is generally where is the typical cruising speed, if you will, for the pod racers. So generally most racers will get up to high speed. You can move 2 sections at a time. Your defense goes up to +10 because you're moving fast, but there is a -2 penalty to any checks you make at that speed. Okay, so now if you're in the boost okay, so you have your first action, and the actions are that, as I said, the accelerate, decelerate. You can bump a target where somebody is in the same section as you. You can bump them. That is opposing piloting checks, or you can ram a target where if someone is in front of you or whatnot, and it's similar to a bump but in a different section. And then you can also, there's a regain control check and a repair check. The regain control is sometimes a forced check that you have to make depending on the situation. Like if you get bumped, you might have to do a regain control check there, and then repair if you take damage. If you end, so you have your first action, you then move again based on your speed. So if you accelerated, then you would have a new speed and you could move again. Then you resolve your track conditions. You do have to resolve every section. If you're moving 2 at a time, you still have to resolve the one you're in. And then you move again. And then you do have a second action, so you can again accelerate, decelerate, etc. And then lastly, you apply any engine temperature damage if it applies. You will have, if you end your turn in boost speed, your engine temperature goes up 1 level. So you see there in the upper right, you start at safe, you're all good. If you go up to the low temperature, you have a -1 to checks. You take 1d6 damage minus your cooling modifier. Some of you have 0 cooling. And then to do a repair, to bring that down, you have a DC 10 repair check. So some of those, like Pato, he has a +12. Depending on any other modifiers, you almost don't even have to Yeah, a lot going on, Dab, for sure, to make that check. So I got this note over here I wanted to paste with these actions.
Can you repeat everything after let me explain?
I can, yeah.
I assume it'll be
Once we get
easier
into it,
once we get
yeah,
into it,
absolutely.
yeah.
I think once you get into it, and that was the thing that I learned last night is we did a lot of setup. We built the pod racers and things, and so hopefully we have enough work here where, yeah, once you get into it, you know, there's kind of a good number of checks that you make, but yeah, I think once we get going,
yeah, my question is, we're not racing, right? We're controlling these racers.
so.
Yeah.
Yes, so R2 is obviously the good guy here, but I wanted everyone to have something to do, but I didn't want to have additional enemies because we'll see that 5 people is going to be a lot going on anyway. So
Yeah, sure. No, that's
Yeah,
fine.
okay.
I was just wondering what's going to stop us all from crashing and letting R2 win.
right, and that is just, you know, not metagaming, I guess is
honor system.
exactly, yeah. So
All right.
just
let's
try and
do it.
you know, you can be a little aggressive and you know, bump each other and things like that, but yeah, you know, just kind of try and play it out a little bit. We'll probably do we'll do for sure 1 lap, maybe 2 laps, just depending to see how we get around. So all right, Remy, welcome back. If you guys want to, we can come back into you guys approaching Gardula and to have an audience with her.
Remy, you want to do the talking?
You're up, Monk.
Yeah, so to clarify, we're basically just betting everything on R2.
Yeah, we're betting 25,000 of our own credits in quotation marks against the lightsaber. Just like casually, like, hey, I heard you got this cool new thing.
And if you have to, you know, you can put our ship up as collateral if you ultimately have to.
I thought about that earlier when we were thinking of how we were going to do this before we even got to this point, but I don't know if we'd want to risk not getting off the planet.
I'm sure Popper would get us off there. The idea is that we're not going to lose, so it doesn't matter what we wager.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna real quick. I want to cut in R2 because I didn't do this yet. You have 3 points that you can add to your pod racer. You can put them all 3 in 1, or you can spread them out, and then they'll essentially add 1 point per point to your racing data column as well. So initiative is obviously initiative. Accelerate, you have to make an accelerate check. If you guys have, do you guys have that note? Did I share that with everyone? Probably not. Nope, there it is. Right there.
I don't see anything.
Okay. So to accelerate 1 step, it's a DC 10, so pretty easy. 2 steps, DC 20. If you really want to try to hit that boost, from 0, you know, you got to hit the DC 30. And then, you know, bumping and things like that, bumping and ramming, there's opposed checks there, and then the regain control checks. Those are going to be your big ones. Turning, you've been briefed a little bit on the course. There are a few turns. There's a narrow spot that you have to try and get through, and there might be a chasm to jump. So turning's going to be there. But a lot of times you also just kind of generally use your piloting check here and there as well. So think that over, where you'd like to make those adjustments, and then come back to it, and I'll edit that. So Remy. So I guess we'll just say, you know, you get up there, you're able to see Gardula. She's there kind of on her platform ready to see the race. And you know, one of the guards ushers you all in into her little area.
So we're already past the guards and we're up.
Yeah, yep. Just kind of get past that. So.
All right.
So as you come in, as you step forward, you can see that there is definitely a reaction to you as a being, as a species.
Thank you for seeing us, mighty Gardula. We have come as we have heard that you have acquired some unique items, and we were curious if we would be able to trade you, or, as you might prefer, a little wager on to today's match.
Her eyes light up at the latter part of your statement. She says, "Oh yes, I very much enjoy a good competition. What is it that you have in mind?"
Well, we, through no means of treachery, have found out that you have acquired a lightsaber, and we were interested in it for ourselves, and we were wondering if maybe you would like to put that up to some credits. Gathered, we have about 25,000.
You see her think that over. Give me a persuasion check with advantage. Nice. All right. And she tries to hide it, but you can see excitement behind her eyes. She says, "Oh yes, most certainly. This will be wonderful. Specifically, are you betting on a specific racer?"
Yes, the mighty R2 unit will be entering today's race.
A droid, huh? Interesting. They don't have a very good record here in the Tibiana circuit.
Well, we thought that might appeal to you in letting us have our fun in this little wager.
Well, I do enjoy taking other people's money, so you have a deal. If your courageous, ambitious droid does seem to pull this off, then I will hand over the item you speak of. But otherwise, I will take the credits and the droid.
God fucking damn it.
I knew that was... Dare I dare bring up Dab?
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. What are we doing?
What just happened?
She just said
She
she'll take the
counter-offered.
credits.
And R2,
It- yeah, and R2.
if we lose.
I mean, we're expecting not to lose, right?
I
Correct.
hope so. For R2's sake.
Yeah. Make the deal, buddy.
It wouldn't be the first time I escaped captivity.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have to do it alone this time.
She
Sure.
she recognizes your hesitancy and your pause, and she chuckles and says, "I kid. The 25,000 credits is the wager. Best of
Very
luck."
funny.
You are fair and mighty, Gagua. We thank you.
I appreciate it. Best of luck. And the guard escorts you all down, and yeah. So the few stands there are here at the starting line, engines pumping.
Wait, can I give some last words to R2?
You sure can.
All right, I'm gonna go up to R2 and I'm like, "Hey, buddy. So we had to make a bit of an extreme wager, not to put pressure on you, but let's just say you don't want to lose this. But we believe in you." And I rub his little chrome
oh my
dome.
God.
I rub his little chrome dome, and I pass my DM inspiration that I just earned over to him,
All right.
just in case he needs it.
Alrighty. So, yeah, R2 then heads off, gets the crowds, the little bit of a crowd that can be handled is filled up. Everyone looks excited for the race. Most of the other racers are ready to go. Their engines are revving up, and R2 gets saddled in, and you settle in and plug into the controls. And yeah, we can. The Gardula comes out, and she has a gong herself to get the race started. So let me get big cheers from the crowd, and she hits the gong for everyone to take off. So roll me. So basically, we're going to be doing a lot of d20s plus something here. Yeah, initiative. And I believe, I don't know if it should work for you guys well. If you guys go to the advanced dice roller, so if you go to the dice roller and at the bottom it says advanced dice roller, it should show you your last 10 rolls at the bottom of that. And that might be helpful here. So if you guys, so if you utilize, so doing the initiative here, so everyone, you've got that first column in the red, and so fire that off, and then hopefully that populates on that, and then that'll help us kind of speed things up later. So, and then I have to figure out, I should probably name.
That was a 3.
Can we say who's who, by the way?
Yeah, it's our colors.
Yeah, I just went with the colors, so.
I thought so. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, okay. Let me do, what I'm going to do is, nope, I want to go to. Alright, so Pato is red, that's Dab. And then I've got Zeb is Rix, right? Tell me if I.
Yep. That's correct.
And then Chillin is Cade, and then we know.
Dude, I'm just chilling.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What
Did
just happened?
R2? Did you have adjustments you wanted to make on that?
Yeah,
On the
yeah.
pod,
I have a +1 there, so it should be a 15.
Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler are the announcers.
Which pod racing attributes did you want to upgrade?
I'm going to upgrade, I guess, 1 into repair, 1 into decelerate, and then 1 into initiative.
Okay. All right, come back over here. Okay, so let's see. Let's. Oh, actually, can I do this?
Nice.
Okay, cool. That'll help. And then if you guys, so we've got Dav had an 8, which is Pato. I really should just change the names here. R2 we had a 14. You said, or should a 15? Rix in blue is 23. Very nice. And then Cade 11. And what did?
Cade's just chilling.
Yep.
23.
Just chilling in Cedar Rapids.
All right. All right. So, Sayer, Green, Dot, Remy, you are up first. You do not move anywhere because everyone is at neutral speed now. So your first action, you're up, is up. So based on that handout, very likely you're going to accelerate, I would assume.
Yep.
So basically you can, you really could just make the roll, and then if you hit a DC, you can choose to go up to whatever you hit. So
I just do a normal.
So for that, use your accelerate modifier. For you, it's an 11, so a d20 plus 11.
Oh Jesus!
Damn.
Yeah, nice.
That's
So
hilarious.
you could fly off to boost if you want right away.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. So you put it in the boost, and can you guys move those tokens, by the way?
We cannot.
Oh, I know. I gotta do this. Well, I don't want to do that, but controlled by. All right, Remy should be able to move them now, I think. And then I'll come back to the other ones in a second. Okay, so you're in the boost, and so that's your first action. So now you move. So you move up 3 spaces. You're green over here. I gotta give you permission on that one too. Okay, so up to 3. So section, we gotta back up a tad though. You're gonna have section 1 and 2 are just straight sections. There's no checks. Section 3 though, there is a hazard, an obstruction in the way. So I need give me a piloting check based on your character, so d20 plus 8. All right, you very easily get past that. You now have your second action in the turn. So you can change your speed. It really, at this point, because no one's around you, that's going to be basically your main thing, is to decelerate. It's basically going to be your main action there.
So just another roll, or
Yep. If you want to, you can go down 1 speed basically for free.
oh, okay.
Because
Yeah, I'll just-
if you look at the actions, it's a DC 0. So you're just going to do that.
Was that with the D20? Was that piloting check with the -6 for being in boost?
Yeah, technically
Oh.
it would, but coming down is a DC 0. So
Right, but the piloting check that he just made to avoid.
Yeah, I
the-
was on boost, so it should have been.
oh, you're right. Yeah, it would have been 2.
Would've been
You
So it's a
you passed it
19.
though. You
Yeah.
passed it with a natural roll. Yeah, sorry. And yeah, please remind me of that stuff because.
Yep.
And then if your engine temp goes up, remember that as well. So yeah, lots to think of. All right, cool. So that's your turn. So Zeb, Rix, let me give you some token access, but go ahead with your first action, assuming you're going to move. So you can move up to 2 speeds if you'd like.
All right.
Should be able
This
to
is
move your tokens now.
this reminds me of the Lego Star Wars Episode 1 pod race.
I haven't played that.
Yeah.
I just know
Oh, man.
the pod racer from N64
Oh yeah, that game
Yeah.
was good.
for sure.
Being high speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you move up to high speed. That's your first action. You've moved. The first 2 sections are clear, so you don't have any checks to make. So you're at your second action. You can try and improve your speed once more. You can brake if you wanted. Yeah. So with ramming, and it was a little foggy on how I understood that, because it says that you can ram somebody that is up, I think it says up to 2 sections in front of you, but the way I interpreted that is only if you're going to be in or past their section. So you cannot ram Sayer right now. If you had a 3 movement, like if you were in boost, you could have, but that's my interpretation of that. So
Okay. Makes
All
sense.
right. Well, Zeb wants to go fast.
all right, so yeah, you get up to, if you want, can get up to.
I'm right on your tail, you son of a bitch.
So, yeah, just keep in mind that you won't move. You don't move yet. You only.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So right now you're simply just putting your engine into boost speed.
All right.
Okay. So, and I will remind you of this after the fact. So that is basically your second action, and that ends your turn. Now, because you are in boost, your engine temperature goes up by 1, so you're in low temp. So now roll 1d6. You have no cooling, so it's just straight 1d6.
Oh no.
All right, all right. So in your damage column down here, you start at your base damage. So put a 5 there.
I don't have access to that. part.
So yeah, so under the
can just put a
paintbrush icon, there is a text, and then because if I create it, you can't edit it. It's very dumb. Or just draw. That works too. But yeah, if you want to get the
Zeb's just a
text.
Simple racing boy. He's just gonna
So-
draw that number 5.
So once you hit 24 points, you move to the damaged. And I didn't have the info here, but there is things there. Damaged, you have -5 to your checks. If you're crippled, you're -10 to your checks.
All right.
So all right,
And
that's
what sort of damage does like ramming or bumping do?
that just depends on the situation. So bumping,
Okay, sure.
yeah, yep, bumping. There's opposed checks, and then whoever loses it, you go to a. There's kind of a thing that might set you off course or something like that. So
Question.
I just boosted. I'm getting to drafting position. I'm gonna slingshot around him in this turn.
Question. So
Days of Thunder.
can you like hold an action to bump someone?
I would say
Because if not, the people lower in initiative get a better shot of it, at least a better shot at knocking someone out of the race.
It's like the blue shell,
That
Mario,
wouldn't be
man.
inherent to the race, though, wouldn't it? In some way,
Yeah.
you're coming
Yeah.
up behind them, so they don't necessarily know. I guess
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that makes
kinda-
sense.
it
And I
plays into
think
itself.
with initiative changing every time.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
and I
that
think
makes sense then.
Yeah, yep. So I mean, it is kind of involved to have to do that every time, but I think that's how you resolve that. So, but yeah, R2, you are up, so you can assumingly give your initial roll to accelerate. So plus
Come
10
on,
for
buddy.
you.
Here goes nothing. 1 sec here, back me out.
No, all good. Yeah, I wish there was I'd love to have a sheet built for this, or macros or something, but
Yeah.
How do you know when to
build a
move the
separate
engine
character sheet for
temperature?
each racer.
Remy, what was that?
How do you know when to move the engine temp?
When you...
If you are in boost at the end of your turn, it goes up 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So only if you end your turn in boost. So what did you say, Dab?
I don't even remember.
Okay. So R2, you can move up to 2 speeds if you'd like.
Wonderful.
Can
I
you-
will.
Can you guys all start moving your tokens, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll move up 2 here.
Okay. All right, so you go into high speed, and then you move through to section number 2, both clear sections, so there's nothing you need to resolve track condition-wise. You pull up, and you gain you kind of move alongside with Zeb there, and yeah, so now you've had your now to your second action. You can accelerate, you can bump him, you can you could ram him as well, or as I said, just simply try and accelerate again for the next round.
Yeah. Sure. Let's try and give it a bump here.
Okay, so for a bump, I gotta find that.
Opposed piloting check.
Yes, so opposed piloting checks. So using your modifier
on
there.
R2.
So
Yeah.
nice.
Hey.
All right.
Woo!
So
No
you guys get
good.
close modifier. All right. So the difference there, we've got a 7. All right, and then table 3, 4. So, yeah. All right. So you bump. Let's see. Failed maneuvers. I think. Okay, so he bumps you, and he bumps you off course. And off course, let's see, I thought there was something extra about. Yeah. All right, so you leave the course. Roll, Rix, give me a 1d6 minus 3. All right, so that's not too bad. Actually, no, that is bad. You get the worst result possible. I forget. So you actually go back. You are bumped off so bad that you go back 3 spaces. With this, we'll just put you back at basically the starting line. We won't have you go back that far.
What is this, Monopoly?
Yeah. Fucking sorry over here.
I mean, I imagine it's more of he bumped him off course far enough that it would take him that amount of
Right.
time to get back.
So
Boost speed and everything. They still able to catch me and ram me. You no good droid son of a bitch.
back to the start finish, and then your next action that you take has to be a regain control. And with that, I think we go to Cheelin.
Dude,
You're a
I'm
dead
just...
man, droid. I'm coming for you. Mark my
Well.
words.
Yeah, that's the next question.
There's no worry
This
of
guy comes after
there's
him.
going to be no worry of metagaming. You guys are just going to get competitive.
Okay, so I guess I'll just accelerate then with my terrible modifier. Oh, that's not bad.
7's not too bad, yeah. Well, actually, no, you can only go up 1 speed. You missed it by 1 point.
I was looking at everyone's stats and I was like, man, this guy's gonna lose. Yep. So I'll just go up 1,
All right, so you're good.
and then I'm gonna accelerate more.
Okay. All right,
Good.
you just get 1 more. So you go up, and with this, you
I don't move up any farther. I'm just
you do
there.
not. You're ready for the next turn. Yep. So, all right, Pato.
What do I do to boost here?
So, give me an accelerate check. So D20 plus 9 for you.
Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba.
All right, so you can move up 1 speed with your first action. So low. And then, yep, you're able to move that token there?
What I did. Oh, you mean there?
That one,
Yeah.
yep. Lots of tokens here.
Yep.
Okay, so, and actually I just realized I think on these second checks we've been making, we haven't been factoring in the modifiers.
Well, I didn't have a modifier because I was in low.
Yeah, actually, so because you would have just missed that. So you've moved. There's no conditions to settle. So Dab, you have a second action to take. You can either bump the people that are in your sector, or you can accelerate again.
Accelerate.
All right. Reroll, and yep, you have no modifier to that, so it's just that. And all right, so you move up 1 more to high speed.
Noise.
And
Guess that's it.
that's your turn. Top of the order, Sayer. Actually, we got to re-roll initiative, so you don't move yet, Pato. Oh, I shouldn't have removed those. You'll move on the next turn.
That's right, I'm coming for you,
Ooh.
you bastard.
Oh no, R2.
No, but not 1.
Better watch your ass, droid.
You can.
You got that inspiration.
Oh,
Ooh,
God.
that's true.
Don't waste it on
burn
initiative
Yeah,
though.
don't burn it too soon.
Yeah,
To be
don't-
fair, I do still have mine from getting Chewbacca's date of birth right.
That's true.
Oh, then I couldn't give you mine.
I'll allow it to stack.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you. Wow. That's okay. We're not at the end
Todd
yet.
Moon
so
breaking the rules.
D&D, there's
All
very
right.
rules.
Did I get everyone right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
We can also, since you gave us access to the tokens, we can actually edit our own.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
I'm just making sure. I need to put like a random text in there to break up the line, so I didn't know where they started. Okay, so yeah, top of the round, Zeb. It's actually your turn. So you need well, you move based on actually. Can you move based on your being bumped?
Yeah, am I back down to neutral or on my speed? Or...
Let me see real quick where this says. All right, let's see. Bump. Pilot also must. Let's see. Out of control. Yeah, I think you have to. I think you can't move yet. I think you have to first do the regain control check. So give me that, which for you is a +7. And what is the DC? Is that in the note? It's not in the notes, is it?
Does not say. It just
Nope.
says regain control check.
I mean, yeah, whatever. I'll come back to that. I will say that that's fine. Maybe it was against. Okay, all right. I don't want to hold up on that. So, all right. Well, I'll just call that. That was good enough to make it. You would have a -1 to that. But yeah, I'm gonna call that good with a 10. So, all right. So now you would go to your second action, so you can accelerate.
Okay. Now I'm accelerating from neutral and low temp now, I guess, since I had to regain control, or...
Your temperature doesn't change unless you do a repair check.
Okay. But my speed is at neutral?
What was your speed at?
I was at boost.
At boost? I'll say that it goes down. We'll say it goes down 1, which I guess benefits you, but... So...
Alright. So I'm going to accelerate, which is a +5 for me. Yeah.
So you've got a -3 to that as well. So that's so you get the 10. You're good. So you can move. So you can move it up to boost if you want.
No, let's keep it at high, I guess.
You would actually. So you regain control. So you do get to move up in your original speed, which was high. So you go up to number 3.
Can I smash R2 into the cliffs?
If you want, you can. Well, actually, yeah. As your second action, you could.
Oh, so that was my regain control, was just that part? Okay.
Regain is your first action. Your second, and you moved, and now you have your second action. You have to resolve. Give me a piloting check first.
Because you have to resolve
there's an
the
obstacle.
number
Yep,
3.
you have to redo the obstacle. We're probably only going to do 1 lap here.
And this is at -3. My piloting 6, and then my modifiers are -1 and -2.
Yes. All right. So the 3 is the new modifier?
Yes.
All right.
My piloting is normally 6.
All right. So that, unfortunately, is going to fail. And
Are you trying to bump him?
no, he trying to avoid the obstacle.
Oh.
But you didn't fail it by enough to make any difference. So there is...
And as I speed up, I'm going to stop slowly there beside R2, look at him, give him a glare, and then accelerate past him.
Wow.
Alrighty. So yeah, I think that's basically your turn. So with your second action, were you doing anything? I think you did. You were gonna increase your speed. Are you doing that or not?
Well, no, I just want to keep my speed. I guess
Okay.
where it's at.
So if you wanted, you could do a repair check to try and decrease your engine temp.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because otherwise you would take that damage. So yeah, give me a repair check, and that'll be at a -3. So a net +4. All right. So you unfortunately don't. So you still have your temperature still hot. So roll 1d6, please. Oof. All right. So you're up to 11 damage.
He has. Does the defense count in that or no?
No.
I assume that that's for the Tusken Raiders on the Canyon Dune turn.
Well, the defense comes in with ramming.
Okay.
So defense is based on your speed, as you can see there. So it starts at 9, and then it's modified by your speed.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was wondering
so
when the,
I think we're
the
good
sand people
there
are coming
with
into
you,
play here.
Zeb. Chillin'.
So you just keep taking damage over and over even when you're at low temperature?
Yeah. You gotta
Yeah,
cool
'cause
that sucker down.
Low is not safe.
Yeah.
All right, so I am at high speed. Does that
It's
mean I
not-
get to move now, or do I take an action
You
first?
move first.
Okay.
So 2 speeds.
Bum.
And then give me piloting check.
Okay.
At a -2. So a
Minus
net
2?
4.
Yeah, so 4.
All right, you pull up, and as you get a little distracted, swerving around R2, Sayer, and Zeb, at the very last second, you swerve out of the way of this large obstacle and are able to get past it.
All right.
You are now at your first action.
All right. I was gonna bump Sayre as I went past.
Okay, so Sayre and Chillin, I need opposing piloting checks. So Remy, yours is at a -2, so a net 6. And then Cade can just repeat his.
I lose.
Badly. All right, so with a 10 there, that's basically what happened. So give me a 1d6 -3, Chillin. All right, so you only go back one spot. Not too bad. So you pull up, get cocky, swerving around the other racers, and just miss this thing. But as you get past that and are going to bump Sayre, he puts you off, and you kind of spin back around and go back to one spot.
All right. Second action, Chillin's gonna accelerate.
You need to do, actually your next action has to be a regain control check.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yes.
I fucked it up that badly. Okay, so that's a 6 + 6. How's that?
And is that with your other mods?
-2.
Yeah, -2 for high. Did I take any damage?
No damage, but actually I think I was saying your speed goes down 1 in a bump.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So
so,
then
that's
there
a
are no
13.
A 13, okay.
Yeah.
And so you're good there. So you're back to you're back regain control.
Okay, then that's my turn.
And yes, so you should have moved
I was at 1. I moved 2,
for your
I tried
first
to-
movement, and then your
Yeah.
first action was bumping.
which I fucked up, and so I went
Okay,
back
so then that threw you off.
and
So,
then I
okay.
had to regain control, so that's my
Yep,
turn.
you're all good. All right, and you've got no engine temperature. We're good. All right, Dab, you're up.
I guess I'll accelerate.
All right. So, sorry.
So
First thing you do is you move.
How fast can I go?
You move up one section, based on your current speed. There's nothing to resolve there. Now you have your action, so you can accelerate. So, give me a. You're at a low speed, so you have a D20 + 9.
I want to go as fast as possible.
So you
buddy.
need to hit a DC 20.
The need for speed.
All right. So you can. You're only able to get to push it down enough to get up to high speed. For your pod. So you go up to high speed. And now you move, so you go 2 spaces. But first you have to resolve the obstruction here. Give me a piloting check, -2.
Did he not already move?
He moved his first turn, yeah. He was at 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's going
But
to
then
be
he was up to, yeah, okay.
sorry, not a
Ooh.
-2 overall. It's so add 6 to that, 11. So you're good there. You pass that, and then you do get through to the section 4. So that one is another clear section. There's no obstructions there. Now you have your second action. You can try and increase your speed again if you like.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
do that.
So give me another. And this is going to be an accelerate, so it's a net +7. All right, so yeah, you can go up to boost. You didn't have any engine temp, right?
No.
Okay.
No, because he started at 1.
Yeah.
Or
So
well.
you, so that'll come. You'll move in the next round. But at the end of this turn, because you are in boost, you do go up to low. So give me a 1d6 to see your damage. All right. So 5 points of damage to your base damage.
The HP?
Yep, right here.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I see it. I see
Yep,
it. Okay.
yep. Okay. And then Sayre, you are up.
I moved 2 spots, right? Because I'm in high.
Yes. Yep. So
So
there
4
is
nothing.
4-0. So 5 is a narrow. There's nothing to clear, but because you are there, other racers can't get through. It's a one width. It's a very narrow tunnel. they can try and ram you out of the way. So keep that in mind. But yeah, so you've made your movement. You have an action now. So if you want, you can try and accelerate or do something else. But
Yeah, we'll go ahead and accelerate.
okay, DC 10 to move up one spot with your accelerate. And you've got a -2 on that, so shouldn't need too much. Alright, definitely. So you're able to get up to boost. And now you have your second movement. So, number 6, as you come out of that tunnel, it then opens up to a chasm that you have to jump over. So give me a piloting check. And this is going to be a rough one because you're at -6, so a +2 on that guy.
Hey,
All right.
come on.
Miss it by 1. So close.
Come on.
So, you pull up to that, and you just miss it. It causes you it causes you an issue, and you don't advance. So you sit there. You don't go any further from there. Your speed goes down to high speed. You do have your second action.
Would I be able to try that again or no?
Yeah, I'll say you can with having a second action still. Because you moved, you had your... Oh, you reserved the first ones. You resolve track conditions after, actually, with your action. Yeah. Yep. No, I'll say you can. I'll say you can do that again. So go ahead. Wow. Just wasn't meant to be. You just have to hang out. So. All right. R2.
So am I still technically in 5th, or I'm just...
You're
stuck
at
in
6,
kind of
still
past
trying
six?
to get
Okay.
through. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so first movement, and then there's also the track condition that we have to deal with, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so your movement is that you can move. So at 3, give me a piloting check. So you're at a net 5 on that.
Okay.
Bonus.
Oh, you back for some more, droid?
All right.
I'll take an inspiration on that one.
Well, you passed it, so you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. 10's what you need.
Damn.
So you get past that, and that you would go one more space because your initial speed. So you come up. This is a clear section. So now you have your second action. You can try and actually no. This is your first action right now.
Yeah. Cool. So it's first action and then another move and then
Second action.
yeah.
Yes. So if you want to accelerate
Okay.
now, you can.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but then I remembered the thing up there. We're gonna knock try and bump Pato here.
Okay. With your so you're gonna your first action is going to be to bump him. Yeah. So give me opposed piloting checks. So Pato, that's gonna be a straight D20. Actually, no, it's gonna be a D20 -1 for
Then I have
you,
a
and
plus
then
5, right?
yes, +5.
You guys nothing.
Nice. So actually, Dab cannot beat that. It's impossible because he has a -1 on a D20. So that would be a... Well, actually, no. He still needs to roll it to see the difference. So Dab, a D20 -1. All right, so 12. That's pretty hefty. So now I need... it's the chart.
I'll take my DM inspiration back now, buddy.
All right,
we
so there's
want him to
a...
win.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
I don't like the right way you race, droid.
All right,
What a
so
nice
your
clean race, and you outsiders come in and start bumping everybody over the goddamn track.
your speed
All right
goes
there,
down one
grandfather.
dab to high, and you need to do a repair check to fix that. You cannot attempt to repair that till your turn. Let's see.
Okay.
And yeah, that's just your engine failure is what that is. Actually, because I've been using the dropping the speed with the bump, it's I'm going to call this go down to 2 speed. So actually, you're going to go down to low. But you have to make the check to fix it. So you can't increase speed. So yeah, move your speed down to low.
Wouldn't it be repair first action and then try to up speed second action?
You could do that, yes, when it comes around to your
Cool.
next turn. So R2, so that was your first action to bump him off. You now, I believe you will now move based on your current speed. So 5, and then you'll get to 6. So now you have to try and jump that chasm. So give me a piloting check.
Yeah, you got it.
Come on.
Oof.
Gosh, okay.
Reroll it, reroll it, reroll it.
Rerolling. That's fine.
Nice, just what you needed. All right. So R2 comes in and zooms past Sayer and is able to clear the chasm. You have your last action.
Kerchow. Okay, we're going to try and boost off to get a little bit of a little ahead here.
Okay, so give me a check. You just need a DC 10 to get up to 1 level.
+8, right?
Yep.
It's yeah, +8. Yeah.
All right, nice.
Nice.
You easily are able to get up to boost speed, but your engine you push your engine up into low temperature. So give me a 1d6 -3 because you do have cooling on your thing. All right, so 3 damage to your right there. So
That's still pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Yeah.
all right,
Just remember, you
very
have a
nice.
-7 to checks right now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I was gonna deaccelerate afterwards.
Top of the order. Reroll initiative, everybody, and keep in mind your
Current speed.
your marks that you get. So R2, you had a -7 on yours. Dab, you would have a -3 to that, so a 18.
Yeehaw!
Let's see.
-6.
Rix,
Wait,
did you fact?
but you have a +5 to initiative.
Yeah, factor in
R2.
your initiative bonus, but then your other ones too.
So it's just a -2. So it's
A -2. Okay.
a minus.
This is where it all went south for R2.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that's
no.
just a -1.
All right, everyone. Does anyone else need to edit? I didn't edit everyone, so. Cade, you good there?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
mine.
Remy.
Good.
Is that adjusted? Okay, and then Rix, did you get yours set up?
Yeah, mine should be a
Okay,
7
everyone good to
3
go?
4.
All right, cool. Descending, not remove. All right, so top of this round, Remy, Sayer, you're up. So you have to get past this obstacle. So yeah, make that piloting check. All right, nice. So you easily get past that. So now you're at your first action.
So do I not move then because I had to do the obstacle, or?
Right. Yep. You're still there
Okay.
at 6 technically. So, but now you have your first action to if you want to accelerate or something.
So that's enough, right? I just need to-
Sorry. Oh, I didn't. I thought you were thinking. Yeah, you can move it up 1 speed.
Okay.
So boost. So now you move. So you go 3 spaces. So, but first, 7 is a clear section. Nothing there. Number 8 is a turn. So give me a turning check. So you're going to be at a +1 is your net turning speed.
Oh no!
Oh,
Got loose in the turn.
Jesus.
I'm picturing that one dude with the pod that's just like a ring. It's just like
Yeah. Did is that the 4, Rebby?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my 4, yeah.
Yeah, so that's not gonna do it. So the turn comes up sharp on you, and you just slam into the side and sit there. So you have, let's see, your second action, which you can use to try and make that turn again if you'd like.
Does he? You're not taking any damage from that by failing that?
Nope.
Okay.
I would have assumed he just exploded.
So something I'm not doing, so really what the rules said is nice. So you just pass it. So you're sitting there in number 7 because you're still trying to get through that that pass.
Thought I just did.
Oh, sorry, wait. 8.
8.
Yep, you're 8. You're right. 9 would have been where you would have ended up. So the rules say that like if you fail a check, you actually make a second one, and depending on how bad you failed, then there's like a result to it. But just kind of felt like an extra dice or roll that was unnecessary. So
Fair.
All right, and then you are actually Remy. If you want, you can reduce your speed. Otherwise, you're going to be left in boost speed. So. Do you want to?
I'm fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
so move that up and then give me 1d6. Actually, you're at a 6 cooling, so you're going to take no damage. You're good.
Hell yeah.
So, all right. Chillin'.
Okay.
What's your speed at? You're at low, so you move
I'm at low.
forward 1. Actually,
Yay!
did you need to regain control, or have you already done that?
Yeah, I already did that. That was my second action. I
Okay,
believe.
cool. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep. So you move up 1. So give me a piloting check when
Yay.
you get there.
Okay, and it's
Straight
just piloting.
+6. Yep.
20 plus 6. Good stuff.
All right, you
All
get
right.
past. So
I'm
now you
gonna-
have your first action.
Gonna put the pedal to the metal. Well, it's not how it works here, but
Use a boost to get through.
all right.
All right.
High
so,
speed?
so move it up to high. Yep. And then now you move, so you can move up to 2 spaces. So there's not really any obstacles. You basically get to the narrow tunnel in 5. And then you have
Then
your second action.
Chillin is pretty reckless, so he's gonna try to punch it.
All right.
He didn't study the track, so he's not very good at this. That's a +5. Nope, doesn't matter.
You aren't able to. The narrow tunnel that you're going through is a little bit too intimidating, so you don't really get the thing up to speed that you like. All right, and then you're not in boost, so you're good there. Dab, it's Pato's turn. You are in high speed, so. Chillin is in front of you in this narrow cavern that only really allows width for 1 racer. So basically, your movement here would put you really up to 6, but to get through Chillin, the only option is to ram him. So you can either just wait until he moves out of the way, or you can use your first action to ram.
I was gonna say, what do you think is gonna happen here, Todd?
So, you guys are both at high speed. This is going to be a rear end collision, which is really, there's not much damage wise because he's just going to come up on you. So your net speed, really, there's not any damage to it. But that's no fun. So, Dab, give me a 1d10. Actually, well, we'll hold on to that because actually, I need a piloting check from Dab which will be a d20 plus 4 for 3. Sorry for you. And then Cade, you make. Actually, it's against your defense. So your defense, Cade, that beats it because you have a 9 base. Yeah. So the damage. Let's see. Damage inflicted, calculated. Oh, actually, no. It's you weren't successful in your ramming, so there is no damage applies.
Well, he does have a second action.
So yes. So, yeah, you can't move, so you can take your second action to try and ram him. So, basically, give me another same check, d20 plus 3, and you have to beat a. Nope. Because you had to beat a 13. All right. So, that's it. That's your turn. Zeb, you're up.
Oh gosh.
Rix.
All right.
So, beginning of your turn, you're in high speed. You move up 2. So, same thing. You get to section 5, and you can either just sit there or you take your first action to ram Chillin.
I'm ramming him. Zeb's
All right.
pissed.
So,
Everyone's that
give me
droid.
piloting check. You're going to be
Everyone
at
wants to
a
kill me.
net.
Some off-world
Net 4,
droid
d20 plus
dead.
4.
Doesn't know who the
Everybody
fuck
doesn't want to
that
kill you,
is.
Cade. You just put yourself in a little hole that nobody can
just
get
in the
through.
way.
Yep.
All right, so you get through. You ram. So now give me a d10, Rix. All right, so Chillin, you take 4 damage.
Ow.
And we'll just say that Zeb is able to ram you enough to get you out of the way in advance. So you're there, Zeb. So that's your first action, and now you move based on your speed, which you are going at high speed. So section 6 is the chasm. So I need a piloting check from you. You have to beat a DC 15.
See, my piloting is 6.
Minus 2.
Minus
4.
3. So
Oh, yep.
Plus 3.
Awesome, easily. So you've come out of that. You fly in. Just you're crazed right now. You ram into Chillin, get him out of the way, and you come out of the tunnel and just you kind of swerve off to the side where there's a little bit of an embankment that helps you make this jump as you soar over. And so you'd actually, I think, end up in number 7 with your full movement. You now have your final action. 7's a clear section, so yeah.
Let's see, so I was at 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Oh, so I can't get up to Sar and smash him. Can I do a repair check?
Yes, you can.
Repair is only a plus. What is it? Plus
7, so a net 4, plus 4. All right, so you're able to cool off your engine back to the safe. All right, good. And then R2, you're boosted. All right, man. So go to section 7. Did you pass the chasm, right? Yeah, you did. Okay, so 7's clear. So you get up to 8. So 8 is a turn. You need to it's a DC 15 turn.
Come on, you got it.
Yeah,
So you had a
plus
plus 4.
Or
Actually,
plus 4
a
'cause I
plus
have a minus.
3.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
10
yeah.
minus
Ugh.
6 minus 1, so yeah, plus 3.
Yeah.
But you got one more reroll.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay,
Oh.
you're gonna want to reroll that.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Oh my god.
Come on!
Turn is brutal.
All right. So no more
too
movement. So you can your next action. You can try that again or reduce your speed if you'd like.
Come on, try it again. You got it.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna try it again because otherwise it'd be too behind. Alright, come on.
Roll 20, you fickle bitch. Ah!
All right. Yeah. So give me a 1d6 minus 3. All right. 2 points of damage.
Trying to reset that.
All right. Back top of the order. Initiative. Might be our last time here.
You take the -2 to initiative as well, right? Like if your other
Yep.
checks. Nice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
+1. Nailed it.
Not great.
So Dab, you would actually be at an 8. R2.
God.
You guys know I'm the worst roller here.
But you're the best pilot.
I know.
Just leave you at a 1. Yeah.
Guess we're just blowing up the palace and stealing all the stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but my honor.
All right. Do you guys got those sorted? I didn't go through everybody yet, but we're missing somebody too.
R2's gonna fall into a deep depression after this.
Rix.
I will, yeah.
Rix, we need your initiative there.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I'm now.
You had a net
7
plus
minus
5.
2.
Nice, 19. All right, so everyone else adjusts. Okay, so Rix, you're up first. Are you? Actually, yeah, you're in high speed, so you come up to the turn. So give me that turning check.
That's a piloting check.
A turning. So yours is
Probably
a
actually
+9, so +7.
thing.
Net +7. All right, you do not make the turn. So you come around. You can use your second action to try again, or do something else.
Yeah,
Try and bump Sayer, maybe.
I'm gonna hit that guy.
Okay. So you could have also technically you could also ram as well. The ramming would be just more kind of the damage, and then the bumping kind of puts them off. So if you want to bump them.
Yeah, I'll bump him.
Okay, so Remy and Rix, give me piloting checks. Factor in your modifiers.
Hey.
All right, so Zeb, you come up, and Sayer's able to hold his own and stave off your bump, but it's not too bad. You don't really go anywhere. You just don't advance or anything. So that's your, I believe it was your second action. Your high speed, no damage. Good there. Chilin.
All right. Well, yep, gonna try to gun it again. So.
What's your starting speed? High?
Oh, I'm at 2, right? Yeah, I'm at
Yep.
high.
So at 6, give me a piloting check. to
That's
make the
right.
Jump.
Piloting check to make the jump. Okay. So that's a total of +4. Yay!
Yeah.
All right, you come up and you're not able to get past the chasm. You have to kind of turn around and come back and
right, so
reload.
for my
So if you'd like your second action, you can make it again.
Wait, is that my first action?
Yeah.
thought
Oh no,
bypassing
you're sorry.
obstacles-
You were right. You're right.
So my first action would be to decelerate.
Okay. So basically, it's free to go down 1 speed.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
gonna go down a speed.
All right.
His sad first action, then he's gonna try again.
And then okay, so your movement, you still have to resolve the action, or the obstacle. So give me that
Yep.
check again. No way. Just
He's so bad.
All right. So you have your second action. You can attempt that again, which I would assume you maybe would probably do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just like stops and pushes the pod racer over.
reverse it.
There you
Finally!
go. All right. You just get over. So
Yay!
all right. Sayer.
So
Oh,
bad.
no.
So yeah, you got to make the check for turning check here.
Turn.
So
Player
you're
needs
at
to fail.
This
a
turn,
plus
I'm
2,
telling you.
or no, you're at a. Actually, you're at a straight d20, aren't you?
0, yeah. Yeah.
All right, you do not. So you can try it. You can. That's the. So you have your first action right now. So you can, if you want to decelerate or something.
Yeah.
Okay, and then.
And then can I repair?
As your second your second action if you want, but you resolve this action first. So you have to give me your turning check first. So give me that with the turning. So you're at +5 now, I think, or 4. All right, nice. So you get past it, and now your second action, if you want, you can do repair or whatever else.
Yeah. Straight.
All right, nice. Remy, turn off those exclamation points because otherwise those are gonna like compound or explode.
Which one?
In your dice roller, you've got I don't know if up top you click something.
Oh, where are those?
Do you see
Oh,
that?
it's compounded. Okay. I see.
Yeah, you see what that is? Yeah. So, yeah, if you do the compound is something weird, and then like the single exclamation point is a exploding dice. But anyway, okay. So all right, you are settled in for next round. Dab, you're up. So you move through the tunnel, and then you get to the chasm with your full initial movement. Give me a piloting check to try and jump over that. D20 plus 3.
It's not as easy as it looks.
Ooh.
I'm not keeping track of these nat ones, but I feel like we've had a few. All right,
Yeah.
so your first action, Dab. Yeah, if you want
I'm
to do
gonna-
something.
Wanting to save face here, I think Peyto is just going to try and ram Chillin.
I'm on the other side of the gorge. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
that is kind of true.
I mean, I can see you. And I didn't
We're
move
in the
my
same
token.
section, so you know.
So
So I guess all I can do is just punch it, huh? Go max
you
speed.
can. Well, you have an action still. So if you wanted to adjust your speed or do a repair check, you can do that before you make the attempt again.
Repairings for punks. Hashtag. I'm just going to punch it.
Okay, so just give me that check again. All right, so he's being cocky and he misses the jump again. You have your last action.
I mean, I still can't ram Chillin, huh?
Nope.
Not too cross.
I guess I'm going to do the same thing.
Make another check. Okay. All right, you
There it
get
is.
through.
There
So,
we go.
all right, you're past it.
R2.
I know, I'm
and-
trying.
Yeah. R2. Come on, baby.
Okay, so,
So,
we have to resolve the
Yes, I resolve
turn
the
first.
turn.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Can he? Does he get an opportunity to slow down?
Not
or does
yet.
I'll
he?
get one
You
after
gotta,
this.
yep,
Okay.
afterwards. So,
Come on.
Alright, he's got
I'll
a
do it.
big turn.
It is
turn.
yeah, it's which one's this one? -2.
plus 3.
Wait,
It's,
no,
it's
minus.
plus 3.
3.
Oh, plus 3.
Come on.
Okay, come on.
Yeah.
Hey.
Nice. That's awesome. All right, so you get past the first turn.
And he wins. Unless
gets
there's
the
obstacles
10,
9 and 10.
right?
Well, depending. So,
Yeah.
all right, so you get past
Uh-huh.
that.
Two rolls up.
So that is basically because you didn't have. So now you're at your first action.
Okay.
So you're past past the thing there.
Okay. let's see. Just to be smart here, can I win it with just 2 moves? Like, I don't know what you're counting as for the start.
Yes, we will say, yeah, we'll say as long as you can get. So there's a turn ahead of you, and then there's a potential, as long as you can get through number 10. If there's an issue there at 10 and you clear it, then yes.
Slow down.
So I was gonna say I'm gonna just slow down, which is a DC 0, so we'll go down to high here.
Okay. So that is your first action. So you now move. So you have to go to number 9. So you have a turn here to make. So give me a turning check here.
Only -3 this time, so it's +7. Come on. Yeah!
All right.
Bum,
Easily
ba-da-bum.
get through that. So you advance to the last section. And then this is a piloting check. There's some obstacles in the way. You get around this and you bring it home.
Okay, it'll be 20 plus piloting, so
So it's
But,
-3, so it's +4.
Yeah.
4.
Come on.
14.
Oh, that counts. That clears it. Come on.
What's that?
Zach,
Wait.
Oh, we got
he's 16.
16. Yep.
16.
All right, so R2
That's
comes out of the sharp turn at section number 9, coming around to the main stretch. But there's a couple like archways that you have to dodge through and get through them. But R2 very skillfully navigates them like a slalom course and gets past and speeds through across the finish line to the crowd's roar
Yeah.
Let's
and
go.
settles on the other side of the finish line.
Woohoo!
So.
Droid power.
Droid power.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I think we'll kind of cliffhanger it there. We're getting late, and we'll come back and resolve this. Yeah, and see how the interaction with Gardula goes and obtaining your lightsaber and whatnot there. So, awesome session, guys. That was a ton of fun. So,
Yeah.
Good job, R2.
yeah,
Nicely
for
done.
sure. All right, so yeah, we'll end there and come back and resolve your errand for Popara, retrieving this lightsaber, and see if there's maybe anything else for you guys to do while you're on Tatooine. You do have another lightsaber that you might be able to
Yeah.
outfit. So
Yes.
I wanna figure out what's going on with that thing.
yeah, that could still be an option. So. But cool. All right. I don't think there's anything else otherwise, so we're just kind of waiting for next time. But yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your night.
On the next episode
Yeah.
of Tempest Feud.
Tempest Feud.
Night, guys.
Good night.
See ya.
See ya.
Yep.